I will not engage you. I will not engage you this time. I will not.
Do not engage him.
I'm not. I'm unengaged.
Unengaged.
Disengaged.
That's right.
Okay.
Armand, are you going to go to the gym?
Better not bring your kids.
Are you going to go to the gym with me yet or not, Armand?
At 3 in the morning, you know I'll be there.
God damn it, Armand.
I was there at 3 this morning.
You go to bed around that time.
Right. What, am I supposed to be drunk?
Who do we give it to, Matt or Donna? Donna spelled it right first.
What?
First.
Kachigian?
No, God. We give Donna Armand every time.
Oh.
It's like a prize.
Doctor.
Jesse, how do you do? Matt, Donna. Who else is here? Hopefully you didn't bring your kids.
Yeah, anybody get the joke? I told Everett it was going to miss. He thinks it's going to hit.
Like a few people will get it.
Nobody's going to get it.
Extremely poor taste.
Oh, I think it's perfect taste. You shut up.
So did Epstein.
Tired of your sass, Armand.
Just trying to make the show a little more piquant.
Picante?
Piquant.
Jean-Luc Picant. I mean, I give you
No, like paste picante sauce.
New York City.
Somebody get the rope.
Get a rope.
Yeah. Fucking love those commercials.
Yeah, whatever.
So
That's
good.
a long time ago, yeah.
Messing with Sasquatch was some classic shit, too.
Yeah.
Messing with Sasquatch was probably some of my favorite stuff.
Jack's Links or something?
Yeah.
I think that's
Sounds
what it
horrible
was,
in here.
yeah.
What's going on with this? You guys hear that?
Yeah, there is some sort of
What is that?
white noise.
It's whitish noise. I'm not going to discriminate.
That's better.
It's dead in the ears, though, man. I can still hear it loud as day.
There it is.
It's your mic.
It's my
Oh,
mic.
maybe not.
My microphone is not doing
That's
it.
not it.
I can
Is
still
it my
hear
mic?
even whenever I'm not doing it, my microphone is not doing it. Your microphone is not doing it.
Well, now,
It's every mic.
yeah, I didn't hear anything
So
there.
it's further back.
It's every mic. It's room noise is what it is.
It's what?
It's room noise. It's not getting
That's
picked
not
up.
room noise. We've never had that before.
You sure? Oh,
Yeah,
just
I'm
remove
100%
the thing.
sure.
Plug all these in. Make sure everything's good.
Where's it? So this would be weird.
Sure it should.
No, thank you.
You don't need your eardrums. It's all good, dude.
It's better?
Actually, we don't need the aux cord. Not that that's doing anything.
Well, we won't need it till social show anyway. It could be doing something, causing fucking feedback. That's terrible, dude.
Hey, YouTube, can you guys hear the room noise on this shit? Oh, hey, man, we got a lot of people showed up. I'm Team Fuck Armand. / is Team Fuck Armand.
Aren't we all?
Is that good or bad?
Jesus, there's 20 people watching right now. What a bunch of... No, I'm just kidding.
COD
Hey,
champs are going on. COD's for sissies, Victor, but have fun, buddy.
yeah. Oh, is he at them?
He's, I don't know, I guess he's watching it.
Oh, no, later, guys. Oh,
Did you guys
right
get
on.
life insurance?
That's acceptable.
How do I look at
You can't get
this?
suicide insurance.
Check for
Oh,
bugs.
youtube.com/Surreal Talk
What's that
podcast.
For bugs where?
What does that mean? Come back from Little
are you
St.
talking
James. Oh, was that the climate change meeting?
No, that's the island, man. That's the name of the island.
Oh, is that where? Oh, is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I just got back.
Armand is a...
Had a lot of fun. Wish you were here.
Oh, my God.
Well, I should know that. Yeah, it's in the Virgin Islands, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Fortnite is for sissies. That's exactly right.
Oh, okay.
Everybody
Shit's
knows I
about to
like
get
them
real
older.
today.
What
Drebin,
is
it
that?
is about to get real today.
This is fucked up. Hold on.
Because, what are you doing here, man?
Well, I don't like the way it wasn't completely lined up, so I fixed it.
So we're going to do something new today while Everett's
Hold on. What are we doing before you run this by me? What is it?
bottom thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean run it by you? It's my show.
Well, we make our decisions together.
That's true. No, I'm just kidding. This is
The only person we keep in the dark is Armand.
That's
and you
right.
like it that way.
Yes.
Huh?
Exactly.
Oh.
All right.
All right. So what we're gonna do is.
This is annoying.
I know. I told you we've never had that before, dude.
Yeah.
It's literally never been there. Can you guys hear that static or what?
Cacophonous.
How's the nipper doing? Oh, my kid, she's doing good. Doing good, crying a lot.
Nipper. Is that slang for a kid? I assume.
Actually, a nipper, I think, is older than that. This isn't even an
Toddler?
infant, is it?
No.
Yeah.
She's a newborn.
Right, newborn. I would say probably the first month.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nipper's like a young boy.
Is
AJ,
that right?
thanks for trying to catch the show every week.
Yeah.
Yes. So for the they came in nipple. Is your nipple all right? Did you have nipple
Yeah, they say they
issues?
can't hear it, apparently.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
fuck
if
it.
they can't hear it, it's fine.
Hello, dudes and dudettes. Hello, Jeff the janitor.
We'll give it another minute or two
Well, hang
or
on,
three.
yeah. So, because I'm going to explain this real quick, because I'm not explaining it
Oh,
during the
Laura's
show. during
here.
the
That's
show.
good.
All right, hold on. Hit that red button, the first one down there. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Laura.
Okay, so what we're going to do is
This is low audio.
we've never really gave the notes away for the shows before, but my self-esteem's rose a little. People said I take good notes. Maybe it's the formatting. But what we're going to do is if you'd like to have edit access, that means you can add stuff to it. But look, if you abuse it, you only get it once.
Hold on, what now? You're giving edit access to old show notes?
Yeah, for not old show notes. No,
These
today's
current
shows.
notes.
Oh. No, I didn't think we were
paying
doing that today.
attention.
That's literally what the fuck that is.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was for today's show.
Well, why not?
Because I felt like a whore. You had the idea of, like, we'll make people pay today to send us messages for the show.
No, that's not.
I felt like a complete
That's not it either.
complete whore.
You explained it wrong just then.
Well, explain it then to make me not feel like a whore.
Well, never mind. Everett's ruined the idea.
No. If I've got it
If
wrong.
they donated in the super, or if they subscribe to us on Patreon,
Right.
if you're a Patreon subscriber, you would get the next 4 shows the next month, because you'd be month to month. You get access to the notes that we're going to do, so you can follow along or even add stuff to them as you would like.
Oh.
You get, like, give me your email, and I'll Google invite you to the document.
Yeah. I know.
Why?
I don't think I want people to have access to the show notes before the show.
No, not before. No, you would literally not get them until right now.
Yeah, no. Because what if somebody decides I'm going to hit delete?
That's why we have a copy. We already talked about this.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's a copy.
I
of
think
it.
after the fact. We'll figure this out here.
Well,
Technical
okay, but what would
Something's going to be available.
What would be the point in doing it after if they couldn't say, man, you guys should see what's up
Well,
with
we can
this?
put a document in there that they can edit and give us ideas for the show, make sure, like, reminders, but it's kind of what the group is for.
Or we give see, we should have thought about this a little bit. We just make a document blank, and we take all the information that they put on there
That's what I'm talking about.
and organize it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So they do
Just
the show for us.
No, not quite.
Oh.
See, now, you sound like a whore.
Hey, Danielle.
Yeah, anyway, so yeah, we'll flush that deal out a little bit better, I guess, next week.
Shit, we have 34 people watching.
All right, well, let's get it together then, man.
All right, hold on. I got the music here. Let's see.
Now we got to do a live tweet here.
Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. There's having a little bit of a little technical. That's not it. Hold on.
Well,
At least it's not Bob Seger.
No, it was Winger, right?
Hey, come on. You don't get the joke, Ramon? She's only 17.
Jesus,
Epstein.
Armand.
That might be of age though in the Virgin Islands. I don't know.
You're missing the whole point here, buddy.
Tomato,
You're missing the whole
tomato.
point.
What is the point?
The point here is
If it's legal, it's legal.
Irony.
Well, I mean,
well, if the age of consent's 16, I don't think I'd still abide by it.
I just
I'm
said though,
saying.
17. I don't know about that, but it is
I
legal.
don't know about that. I love you.
I bet you would.
I love you. You're the dirtiest guy I know.
Ugh, I hate you.
I tend toward older women anyway. Everybody knows that. But
That's
I'm just
true.
saying, if it's legal.
Hold on. You tend toward anything that will allow
No,
you.
I'm not for. I don't like kids.
Well, that's true. I can
Oh
start
my
gotta be a
God!
real
thank
woman.
God.
Thank
All right.
God.
All right, let's start this. Let's start
Hang
this
on,
shit
hang
out.
on.
You don't know.
Are you not ready?
I like a
One
mature
sec.
woman.
That's right. Look at that. It's like
Stag, yeah.
All right.
Stacked.
she got boobs.
Right.
Uh-oh.
He likes big sluts and he cannot
Hopefully
lie.
phony. Yeah. Hopefully all silicon.
Oh my Lord.
Lordy, lordy. Look who's, I don't know, horny, I guess, Armand.
I want some.
What are we waiting for?
I want to feel a
You, go.
polypeptide.
You're listening to Surreal Talk, a look inside the world of cults, conspiracies, and the paranormal.
Something's not right, man. Something's not right. Something's
Still got your
bullshit
tin hat
here.
here, tinfoil
And
hat
I don't
here.
believe it. Somewhere.
Honestly, this crazy shit could be completely possible.
I don't know where. Somewhere, though.
Gotta make sure I follow this out.
Disclaimer. We reserve the right to be wrong, ladies and gentlemen. You think you know the whole story? Think again.
Now your hosts, Eric and Everett.
Welcome to Surreal Talk, a lineupmedia.fm production, and we are back.
I'm upset
Why are you upset?
because you stole my.
I stole your whole thing.
Yeah, that's my thing.
You were on your phone, and I took
I
half second.
knew right where I was at.
I know you were real close, and I knew right where you were at too, so I decided to preempt and fuck you over this week. You want to go ahead and do it over?
No. I mean, you've ruined
too
it.
late
You've ruined
now.
everything. You've ruined the entirety of the show now.
It's ruined, huh?
It's fucked.
It had potential until then.
I don't know. I don't think it's timely enough.
Welcome
the
back,
subject.
Armand.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you for joining us, Dr. Kachigian.
We've got
Foot guy. I think somebody called me.
Foot guy.
The Tonga kid. Oh, Jeff. That's in very poor
If
taste.
you were joining us last week, Armand got his fucking ass chewed by.
Yes,
was
it
funny.
wasn't pretty.
We're also welcoming back AJ. She was with us on our systemic racism episode. Welcome back,
Hi.
AJ. She's going to get on here and talk about some
Hi.
pederasts with us.
Yeah, this
Oh, pedophile.
the systemic pederasty show.
Systemic pederacy. I like it. I should have named it that.
You
It's
got
better
it.
than the, you
Go ahead,
better
go ahead
not
and take
bring
it.
your kids.
Yeah, maybe the
which
I don't
podcast will
know.
come out.
Let's
as
explain
systemic
that before, so it's early enough on the show.
I would have liked to have not had to.
I hopefully a few people got it, but it's from Dave Chappelle. Like he had the little bumpers coming in and out, and they do the Chappelle show.
Chappelle show.
Thank you. And then they'd be like, "You better not bring your-" Yeah, exactly. Thank you. You killed it. Right in the middle of
What
it.
do they say?
They say you better not bring your children.
How do they say it though?
Very stylized.
Oh, okay.
You better not bring your children.
Yo, kids.
So where does Bob Seger come into all this?
It doesn't. That's Eric. That's
Oh.
just he's a
Yeah, you
I like Bob
introduced him
Seger.
into
Hi. Oh, Team AJ. Look at that. That's cute.
it. Need another T-shirt.
I'm banning both of them. There's no
yeah,
extra
who
teams
is that?
needed. Luar for one. Luar, I thought you were team
Loire? Yeah. What is this?
Yeah, it's not good.
It's
So
nothing,
today
it's nothing sacred.
To somebody who has a good taste.
I guess, man.
we are talking about
happened?
Jeffrey Epstein, who recently
Yes.
killed himself.
Allegedly. Thank you, Armand.
That's right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Sorry, I had that
Committed
written
suicide.
down. I guess I skipped over.
Suicide in quotations.
Yes.
We would also like to get out of the way too that we have no suicide thoughts ourselves.
Right.
I'm not planning
None.
suicide.
None.
If I die, it wasn't suicide.
No, but you guys should, at the end, post about suicide prevention.
If
Good
Armand
call.
Public service.
Yeah. Look at you.
She's a good
It
kid.
is a thing.
If
I am a
Armand
good
dies of
kid.
erotic asphyxiation, that could be legit.
That could have been happening.
that could be
That
legit.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Possible.
You and Armand.
Bury me with David Carradine.
Yeah, you and Kane going down history.
Yeah, me and Kung Fu.
So everybody knows recently what happened with Epstein and everything. So we're not going to start with that though. I
What are
mean,
we
if you're
starting
listening,
with?
we're starting with the beginning, his early life,
At the very beginning.
the very beginning.
Jeffrey Epstein was
His dad
born a
was
small
mom.
black child. Oh, that's the wrong movie. It's the wrong movie.
I
He
know-
was
I
born
know
a
that
Jewish
was-
child in
Jewish child.
Brooklyn, New York.
Of course, Epstein's a Jewish name, of course.
Oh, very astute.
Was it the Steen that gave it
Oy
away?
vey.
He was born in 1953.
What? He attended public schools. He was
Brooklyn-
born of
Brooklyn, New
a
York.
modest background.
He was pretty much a normal kid growing
very
up.
normal kid. Yeah.
I don't know, physics and math teacher. Wow.
That's how he started his
I
life.
thought he was a little, man, I didn't think he was that bright.
Oh, he's pretty. Yeah, he's.
Dude,
pretty
he was super
Thought he was a
smart.
pimp.
No, I mean,
Where does it say that?
he wasn't so much of a pimp, more of the John than a pimp.
There's a
Oh,
quote
no, 'cause he
from one of
fucked him.
these
It's in,
scientists.
if you go on Wikipedia, man, it's got all of his career and everything.
Where did he go to college?
Hold on, let's see.
Graduated 2 years early from high school. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 16. he
Cooper
graduated high
Union,
school.
and then he attended the Corn Institute of Mathematical Sciences at New York University.
Yeah, but there's
Oh,
there's
sounds
a
legit.
phrase that's out there about him from Mr. Pinker, who's a scientist that was not affiliated with Epstein, but had met him before, and he calls him
He invested
an
in him, actually.
intellectual imposter.
Yeah.
Intellectual
A
imposter.
poseur.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A phony.
Who called him
A
that?
fraud.
Mr. Pinker, he's a a cognitive psychologist at Harvard.
At Harvard.
Oh no, he's the one that got kicked off the island, isn't he?
Yep.
Oh,
So
no wonder.
Yeah.
he was down there. Epstein would have these big science conferences where he'd fly
Oh,
people
yeah.
out to him. Then he'd send everybody over to the
Science.
island. Well,
Oh, it was a science
wasn't
conference.
at the
I
island.
wish he had a podiatry conference.
Well, no, he offered to pay and support these scientists,
Right.
and so in turn they kind of
Science.
like.
They were supposed, like a lot of them
Yeah,
admitted
symbiosis.
that they had backed what he had said just because out of the money, you know what I mean, or giving it a chance because hey, this is my pet project.
Sure.
I'm into cryonics or some bullshit
Right.
like that.
Much like an aspiring young actress would.
But
want
they
to
were
roll.
having discussions at it at his island, and Pinker,
Discussions.
just
That's an
just talks.
interesting term for it.
Discussions.
Yeah.
Well, I forget
It's
what
a
the exact
euphemism
point was.
if I've
Let
ever
me find
heard
it.
one.
Calm down over there, Armand.
Yeah.
Let me see.
The
here.
thing is to note too that I read about was that a lot of these scientists did have were affiliated with him, but this is before the 2008
Six. I think.
six case against him when he was charged the first time. So, like Stephen Hawking was on a submarine with him once, I think.
Yeah, it was first time Stephen Hawking had been underwater.
Yeah, and
I didn't know
but
that
this
either.
is
Evan
before
informed me.
that Epstein was charged with anything, and so
So
I mean,
hang on. So let me ask you this though: do you think he was the same person he know him now back then?
I think he was, but I
They-
think that certain. I mean, he's a smart man, so
any of
certain
his
audiences.
contacts. Well, hang on. So any of his contacts before he was arrested are automatically legitimized because the public didn't know that he was a pedophile.
Well, they may not have known he was a pedophile. I mean, he might not be having people, young children, young women, I wouldn't say women, young girls at his soirees with these scientists because he's there for a different point. So They might not have known because they might not have seen.
But were they?
Here's Pinker's transgressions.
I don't know. I
don't
wasn't
know.
there. I wasn't there. I don't know.
I saw you
Well,
there.
his academic credentials seem okay. I mean, you can still be an intellectual and a pervert.
Well, of course.
I
you
mean,
can
I
be.
like to think I'm both.
Well,
Not quite to this extent.
yeah, okay. I'm like, well, Armand, let's not put you in the same.
Well,
boat.
yeah, no, yeah, this is the nth degree here.
So, what's his name? Epstein had argued that we shouldn't. Sorry.
What's his name?
It was a good
guy.
lunch.
Show
It was a
about-
good lunch.
He's the fucking guy
I got
from
a little
Brooklyn.
bit. I got a little bit of a latent buzz. Stick with
Yeah,
me
good
here.
lunch, huh?
It was a good lunch.
Guy from Brooklyn.
Anyway, Epstein wasn't a proponent for helping the poor and the huddled masses. He thought it was benefiting the overpopulation of the planet. So why bother helping them? We can drop the population of the planet.
Wow.
But Pinker, at one of these discussions, had rebutted him by basically saying that even though if you do that, more children die. If infant mortality rises, people just have more kids, so it doesn't really work. And he kind of got scoffed at by Epstein for it. And like after that meeting or whatever, after that talk, one of his Harvard buddies, Pinker's Harvard buddies, was like, "Hey, you got to go.
Yeah,
You're no longer
voted
wel-
off the island.
That's exactly. You've been voted off the island. You're no longer welcome here."
Yeah.
It's an interesting debate,
Just
though.
for
It's kind
just
of-
for fucking.
Like, don't argue with him. Don't like demean his ego,
Right.
which is
Yeah,
so
challenging
indicative
him.
of
He's
the kind
god
of
of that
person he
island.
is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The god of that circle, if you will.
He's got a god
Wow.
complex.
So run us through his professional career there, Everett. That
So-
you got. Yeah.
Here's my my notes on this. He started as a physics and math teacher at the Dalton School in Manhattan. He only taught there for 2 years before being dismissed, which is the best I can find. He was dismissed.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of official information on why.
Right. This is in the 70s, so it's hard to get anything from that far back anyway.
And money went a long way back then.
Right. He had met Alan Greenberg, who was the CEO of Bear Stearns, which is a big banking organization.
yeah, which went belly up in 2008.
You have anything to do with that?
Yeah, I
Did you
lost
lose
a
any?
lot. Yeah,
Bummer. So you
couple
got a
hundred
little
thousand
bit of
there.
So you
against
don't like-
Epstein and
Well, the banking crisis. Bear Stearns was a big part of that. Yeah.
Alan Greenberg, CEO of Bear Stearns, his students went there and he offered Epstein a job as he was impressed with his intelligence and his drive for financial success. So he joined Bear Stearns in '76 as a junior assistant to a floor trader, basically nobody, but he quickly moved up to be an options trader, and then did the special products division, which is just showing he's got a path of upward momentum, is not even trained in the financial.
Yeah. So how do you do that? You know what I mean?
Smarts, man. The guy was a fucking genius, more or less. But eventually moved up to the bank, moved on to advising the bank's wealthiest clients.
We come here to bury Epstein, not praise him.
Well, I mean, you gotta
Look,
build a.
that movement's good. That's pretty impressive.
That's Julius Caesar, by the way.
Well, thank you there.
Those are
Armand.
that sort of movement inside of a industry is only like
One of the biggest
capable
fucking,
by
right.
a person.
No,
that's
obviously
Hebrew
the guy
or
has
other.
something on the ball. There's no doubt about it.
He was praised by the CEO for his skill to handle wealthy clients and complex products. So the guy was more or less a savant when it comes
Yeah,
to
he could
those
think
things.
on his feet and
A
solve
people
problems real
person.
fast. Yeah.
He became a partner of the place in 4 years,
Wow.
which is amazing. For Bear Stearns, we're talking about.
Partner.
Yeah, full partner from an assistant to a floor
From
trader.
mopping the
but,
fucking
yeah,
floors
but
out back
here's the
and
rub.
scrubbing the pissers
Yeah, but
to
what-
full
look-
partner in 4 years.
Look what comes next.
1 year later, though, in '81, he's asked to resign, more or less,
Yeah.
for policy violations to remain unclear.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he still remained close friends with CEO Kane
course he
and
did.
Goldberg. So,
But he
or
had to
Greenberg.
leave. That's sexual. I mean, those policy violations are.
Sexual harassment. You could
I'd
do
say
that.
that.
You're jumping to a conclusion there.
He founded his own consulting firm in 1981, the Intercontinental Assets Group, which is basically, he described himself as a high-level bounty hunter for collecting ill-gotten losses, or ill-lost loss. I guess they're all lost like that. But people who have been
no kidding.
Ripped
lost
off
money in
fraudulently,
frauds
yeah.
or embezzled, things like that, he would go out and recover it. I'm not sure of his methods. That sounds like a leg breaker, you know what I mean? How the fuck you going to, somebody's overseas, how you going to get over there and make them give money back?
You can't
Bounty
legally.
hunter.
Legally, you can't.
You know, he maybe had Dog the Bounty Hunter.
He-
go
but
with
he
him.
worked,
Beth,
and he worked
probably.
for embezzlers as well. Well, that's
Another thing too.
Conflict of interest.
During the same period of time, it's noted that not only did he help people who were embezzled, he actually would provide services to embezzlers to give
So-
them sound advice.
Well, right. So he would help the embezzlers and tell them where the shit was.
It's like an arms dealer, man. He sold to both sides.
Yeah, of course.
So this guy wasn't exactly encumbered by morality, even his early years.
I wouldn't think
I
so.
wouldn't
Yeah.
say that was part of his dossier. No.
Right. I think that's part of his psychic makeup.
It was during this time he had been noted mentioning to several people that he was in fact an intelligence agent working for what
Uh-huh.
agency I don't know, probably CIA if I had to guess. He possessed an
MI6.
That'd be English, sir. He's an American.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he'd probably lie about it.
Well, don't just be saying.
OSS.
Fuck with you.
I'm just-
Anyway, he possessed
just
a.
appending.
Thank you, I appreciate that, Armand. He possessed an Austrian passport with a fake name, which in itself isn't that big of a deal. You want a
No, I
passport?
got a few of them.
I'll give you a passport.
3 o'clock.
I thought you had a Serbian name.
I got one of them too.
He's got a few different names. Commander Dickwad.
That's a good one.
Investigative
Very
journalist
descriptive.
Vicki Ward said she was told in 2017 by a former senior White House official that U.S. Florida District Attorney Alexander Acosta, who had handled Epstein's criminal case in 2008, said to Trump transition interviewers, "I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone, and that Epstein was above his pay grade." So what he's referencing is back in 2006, or I believe it was
2008, yeah.
Well, that's when the trial was. But in I think it was 2006 when he was
maybe.
finally, or whenever he was arrested the first time over this, and all these charges were levied. He was then Attorney General of Florida, or District
Acosta
Attorney, sorry.
was.
Right,
Acosta
Acosta
was.
was District Attorney of Florida, and he was contacted by someone in government saying pretty much,
Leave
leave
him
this
alone.
alone. They eventually worked it out to a plea bargain, or no. They wrote it up that he dimed somebody out, that Epstein had given them information on another case, and all of his charges were, I'd have to find the exact.
Dismissed?
Dismissed, more or less. They were sealed. Everything was sealed up, let go with no time served, and that was it. Because
Sounds
he was
fair.
very important to people in government.
Yeah.
But you got to wonder what he's doing. Like, what the fucking Epstein know?
So the next thing we have down here is that during this period, one of Epstein's clients was the Saudi Arabian businessman Adrian Khashoggi.
Adnan.
Adnan.
Is that what it says? Oh, that's not an R. It's an N.
Adrian
It looked like R.
Kalugi.
Shut up, man. My eyes are bad.
Adnan.
Kalugi.
An N. That could be an R and I. R I.
You need glasses. That's the problem. Was there?
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Did you see this
I
Jeff
need hearing
Jenner
aid.
guy comment? My
Jeff
best
is-
friend in high school was his personal massage therapist and secretary. He bought her tons of stuff. She's also suing Prince Edward.
Damn.
That's true.
Nice.
Wow. Prince Edward's.
That guy's always
Yeah,
been a
that there's
fuck up.
pictures. there's
Andrew.
been-
Yeah, Andrew.
Prince Andrew,
This
yeah.
Andrew.
Khashoggi
Yeah.
guy. Where do
Did I
we
say
know that
Edward?
from in
Yeah.
recent
Yeah,
recent
Andrew, yeah.
news?
Kashigian?
No, Khashoggi. That.
Oh, the.
Where's that? Yeah, we know that from.
There's
don't
a
know.
journalist that's also got the same name who was murdered in Turkey.
Yeah, that's him. Well, or
okay.
It's not the
Khashoggi.
same guy, but it's the
yeah,
same
right,
last
that's
name.
Right,
Yeah.
Khashoggi, that's him.
Anyway, Epstein met with that guy in the mid-'80s. He'd been introduced through Douglas Lease, a defense contractor, and John Mitchell, a former U.S. Attorney General. So we're just saying, like, this dude knows every fucking body.
Yeah,
he
he's
literally
getting,
does.
making contacts
Yeah,
all
he's
over the fucking
connected
place.
for sure,
right?
yeah.
And we can go on and on and on here.
A consultant for Tower Financial Corporation, a collection agency that bought debts people owed to hospitals, banks, and phone companies. He was paid $25K a month for his services at Hoffenberg.
No, by Hoffenberg, who ran Tower.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Hoffenberg and Epstein refashioned themselves as corporate raiders using the Tower Financial as their raiding vessel. One of Epstein's first assignments for Hoffenberg was to implement what turned out to be an unsuccessful bid to take over Pan American World Airways in 1987. A similar unsuccessful bid in 1988 was made to take over Emery Air Freight Corp. During this period, Hoffenberg and Epstein worked closely together and traveled everywhere on Hoffenberg's private jet. So
I put these couple down like this for the simple fact they're attempting to buy an airline company.
two
which
of
I find
them.
weird.
Yeah, right. What do you need
I
that
thought that
for?
was
So you're
weird.
just smuggling shit from across the country.
I don't know, corporate
Kids?
No, sometimes, you saw Wall Street. They take over these things, liquefy them or whatever, these raiders, it's all about profit.
So here's some more interesting information. The only public known billionaire client of Epstein. Oh, we skipped down some, didn't we? Shit.
Yeah, 93.
So in 88, he started his own financial management firm, J. Epstein and Company. He claimed to have billions of dollars on his sheets, but the only certified billionaire he had was Leslie Wexner, the chairman and CEO of L Brands, formerly Limited Inc., which owned Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works,
Okay.
a bunch of places like that. In 86, he met Wexner through their mutual acquaintances, an insurance executive named Robert Meister, and his wife in Palm Beach, Florida, which is where he also had another house down in Florida as opposed to just his Manhattan residence. A year later, Epstein became Wexner's financial advisor and served as his right-hand man. Within a year, he had sorted out her entangled finances and was granted full power of attorney over all of her affairs.
Wow,
Or
really?
his affairs, sorry. Said seemed Leslie. And earlier this morning, before I
Jesus.
researched him, I thought it was a woman. But no, Leslie's a man's name, too. Did you know that?
Yeah, I was well aware. We have a
course.
grandpa named Leslie.
Okay, I guess you do know that, though.
Yeah. Fucking guy.
Let's see. As we all know, power of attorney grants him full fucking ability over all of her affairs, hire people, sign checks, buy and sell properties, borrow money, do anything else legally binding on his behalf. And by 95, he was the director of the Wexner Foundation and Wexner Heritage Foundation. Is also the president of all of Wexner's property, which developed the town of New Albany outside of Columbus, Ohio, where Wexner lived. Epstein made millions in fees by managing the financial affairs of Wexner.
Look, hang on. You're skipping something important here. In
What's so
1993, Tower Financial Corporation imploded as one of the biggest Ponzi schemes
I was going to get back
in
around
America.
to that.
Oh, well, go ahead. Continue.
No, it's fine.
One of the biggest Ponzi schemes in American history, which lost the investors over $450 million. Armand thought he had it bad.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but not.
These fucking guys were pissed, I'm sure. In court documents, Huffenberg claimed that Epstein was intimately involved in the scheme. Epstein left the company in 1989 before it collapsed and was never charged for being involved with the massive investor fraud. So
It seems like more of his government contacts getting him out of the...
yeah, but he look, definitely made money off that. You know what I mean? In 88, he started his own company. Okay, so this happened in 89. He left the company in 89 right before it collapsed. And in 93 they started bringing down the executives for investor fraud. Okay, and he had left just 4 years prior to that and started his own company. So I would think that they did it. You all right?
Yeah, just getting rid of some paper.
Okay. I would think that, they were doing it all throughout the 80s, enough to get him enough money to start his own company.
Sounds
Objection.
Like the all-American
Speculation.
success story, doesn't it?
I would think so.
This is capitalism right here.
Yeah.
In 96, he changed the name of his company to the Financial Trust Company for tax advantages and based it in the island of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
For tax advantages?
Yeah, basically he can get away with paying
Yeah,
90% less taxes.
Yeah.
So
fuckface does shit like
yeah,
that.
let's see. In 2003, he bid to acquire New York Magazine, eventually failed. And let's see, in 2004, he put $25 million into finance a magazine called Radar, which also failed. I'm not really sure how much he lost, but it folded after 3 issues.
And that was a financial magazine? He
No,
was trying to be
Radar
Forbes?
was not a... I don't think it was. It was a pop culture, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was trying to be Forbes.
So Radar Online still exists. I'm not sure, though, if Radar Online has anything to do with the physical Radar magazine that he funded. I'd have to think not, but that would have likely been come up in my research. And after I went on Radar Online today and typed in Epstein on their front page, they got articles on there calling him a pedophile and all kinds of stuff. So if he was
you got to distance yourself from
well,
that
if he was
shit.
an investor, they probably wouldn't. At least they might not tackle him, but they probably wouldn't, talk about it at all.
Okay, legal proceedings, though. You know what you didn't do either?
What? Oh yeah, I do that all the time.
I know. Look, we have a nice picture on the notes, too.
Oh, the island.
Of the island. But we're not there yet. We're on legal proceedings, man. You got to click the link for that.
Well, that's fine. I don't know why you don't have it up already.
I do. Not yet.
Armand, where's your computer today?
I never have a computer here.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't.
It's not extemporaneous enough.
Stop it with the big words, Armand. Our listeners don't know what that means.
Right.
Ocho Man doesn't know what that means.
Well, come on. Ocho Man knows everything. He just pretends
So,
like he doesn't.
you want me to start off with his first criminal case here?
Sure, the one in the 14-year-old stepdaughter? Yeah.
In 2005, a woman contacted Florida's Palm Beach Police Department that alleged a 14-year-old stepdaughter had been taken to Epstein's mansion by an older girl. There she was allegedly paid, what's that say, $300, equivalent to $380 in 2018, to strip and massage Epstein. She allegedly undressed but left the encounter wearing her underwear.
So that was the beginning of the end.
14 years old?
14 years old.
So she was recruited by another girl who, this was his MO. He would bring them in, and then if they were, into the whole thing in the first place, he'd be like, listen, this was great. I'll give you more money if you can get more girls to come in. So
Right.
this was like another instance of
Yeah, it
that.
was fueling his perversion.
Yep. Pretty much. I don't like the way you say that.
Anyway, what perversion? Perversion.
Fueling his perversion. It was like Dateline.
It was have a seat right there. Anyways, police began a 13-month undercover investigation of Epstein that included the search of his home. The FBI also became involved in the investigation. Subsequently, the police alleged that Epstein had paid several girls to perform sexual acts with him. Interviews with 5 alleged victims and 17 witnesses under oath, a high school transcript, and the other items found in Epstein's trash at home allegedly showed that some of the girls involved were under 16. The police search of Epstein's home was found 2 hidden cameras, large number of photos of girls throughout the house, and some of whom police had interviewed in the course of their investigation. So they, more investigation, found photos of chicks that they had just interviewed. And I shouldn't even say chicks because these are little kids.
High school transcripts. What the hell is he
pervert.
doing with them?
Yeah, that's what I found weird, too. It's like, this seems kind of planted.
So,
He wants to see your grades
whose high school
first.
transcripts would you have? Your own
None.
or your child? What would you need a child's high school transcript
Well, that's
for?
what I was wondering.
If you're going to be their legal guardian, you're going to need shit like
But
that.
the point is, why would they have brought their transcripts to the
Yeah.
fucking Epstein house?
Was it
To
those
undress
girls'
and massage him?
transcripts, or
Yeah.
was it
Yeah.
other? Because he didn't he own and donate to this
Even still, though.
It was in the Caribbean, some sort of school.
I can't think
under
of
kids and
any reason, even if he did that you would have anyone's transcripts.
no. There's no. I mean, there's a reason, but it could be perverse. But I mean,
Even a perverse reason to have a transcript.
control. I don't know. I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah, no, blackmail.
daddy
Blackmail. You don't get
issues.
your
You're
transcripts.
going to blackmail a kid?
Yeah, fuck. I mean, if you're this type of guy, would you tell
don't
me
wanna
you
say
would
blackmail,
not
but
blackmail
I'm
your kid?
saying,
My point is to me,
You're not
that's
getting into college. Look
maybe
at your
these
transcripts I
girls
have
needed
here.
to report to him or something.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean?
That,
Exactly. Danielle M. playing daddy. There is an element of the. I
with
mean,
real...
men who are attracted to young girls have a dad god complex, and to me, it wouldn't be super surprising to be you have to maintain a certain grade level to get these certain amenities
Perks.
that I want to give. Yeah, exactly. Seriously, like there's some
That's
weird
terrible.
shit. There's some weird shit. This guy was obviously, we know what he was into. Things that are like
I wasn't his friend.
Right. And it's
transhumanism.
likely that he targeted girls anyway, which way that'd be fine,
Eugenics.
that would have the personality types that would go
I'm
for
gonna
this
go ahead
sort
and
of
say
thing.
it. He's a fucking predator. Okay, so I mean, we're gonna
Well,
just put
that's
that
obvious,
out there.
Eric.
So,
That's
yeah.
pretty obvious.
Well, I mean, nobody said it. We're
I'm gonna
beating
go
around
ahead.
the
I'm
bush
gonna go
here.
ahead and.
Fucking, this guy's a fucking sexual predator, and he preys on little kids.
Oh my God! I'm gonna go ahead and state the obvious here.
Well, I mean, you were beating around the bush there, so I figured I'd nail it.
Sorry, you're
This
right.
is bad.
The
All
man
right, are you
likes.
guys gonna go on with your
Maybe.
your background stuff here?
Yes, exegesis.
You wanna go on, Eric? Here?
Yeah, he had another. So the International Business Times reported the papers filed in 2006 lawsuit alleged that Epstein installed concealed cameras in numerous places on the property to record sexual activity with underage girls by prominent people for criminal purposes such as blackmail.
Boom! That's what
There
got
it
him
is.
killed.
That's the thing. So he had cameras all over this island. He would invite
Well,
a
that's
bunch
his property, not in Florida, not in his island.
Well, he had him there too. They found him.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Not- but this is
Yeah, right.
specifically
So
he's talking about.
either way, he had cameras. He was recording his sexual encounters and others' sexual encounters. But these weren't just regular people. They were, businessmen, congressmen, all kinds.
Politicians.
Yeah, I mean,
Celebrities.
people of importance,
Princes.
I guess. And so you blackmail them with these videos.
Religious people,
Look,
I
I got
can't
you on
back that
tape
up.
fucking a kid. Do what I want.
Well, that's one way of sure.
I mean, if somebody come up to
Well,
you and
that's-
said that, I mean,
That's a classic spy maneuver. You guys ever heard of honeypots?
regardless,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they use.
even an accusation like that can just kill you. You know what I mean? That can kill
Yeah.
your career and everything.
Well, that means you have to be an upright citizen like me,
Well, right, but what I'm saying is if
and not
somebody's
prone to such peccadillos.
they've got
So-
crazy technology now.
Here's something I found that was interesting too. Another
that
spot
shit.
going towards the fact that he might have been an intelligence agent. In 2006, July, the FBI began its own investigation of Epstein, nicknamed Operation Leap Year, that resulted in a 53-page indictment in June 2007
53-page.
that was never presented to a grand jury. Just never made it to a grand jury.
Where is it now?
Let's see. Alexander Acosta, we've talked about Acosta a lot, agreed to a plea deal to grant immunity from all federal criminal charges to Epstein, along with 4 named co-conspirators and any unnamed potential co-conspirators.
Where's this indictment though? Do they know?
It was in the Southern District of Florida.
Have they found it? Do they have it
They
now?
have recently just unsealed it.
I'm sure that's
Yeah.
going to be.
That's the unsealed
Because-
document they were talking about.
Right, because
Oh, okay.
the judge who sealed it, they found he had sealed it erroneously, and he's been since dead. So it's a lot easier to get it open, apparently. So.
Good shit.
I wonder how he died.
the judge.
They didn't want that. They didn't want that shit coming out. So I don't think it was the Clintons or anybody like that. But going on, according to the Miami Herald, the non-prosecution agreement essentially shut down an ongoing FBI probe into whether there were more victims and other powerful people who took part in Epstein's sex crimes. Okay, he might not have been an agent, but at least it's the same thing you'll have if somebody's in blackmail. Who's like, hey, he's
Now,
got
if
the
you
shit
had
on it.
if you had all this stuff and you're Epstein and you have potentially some very powerful enemies,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't you make it clear that look, I've got all this evidence, and if I die under any mysterious circumstances, this is all coming out.
You'd think
You
the
know,
dead
you-
man switch would be your first
Yeah,
fucking.
that's the
Eric
first
and I,
thing
it's
So
exactly
you
what Eric
want
and
to
I were
keep
talking
me
about earlier.
alive as long as you can.
I told
brother.
Eric that what had to have happened is he had all of his shit bundled and ready to go, nuclear if anything happened to
Yeah.
him. They had to have gotten a hold of it. Somebody got a hold of his
Right.
bundle.
They figured it
And
out,
then
and
he-
it was like, all right, motherfucker.
Now he's
They
vulnerable.
were fairly sure he didn't have.
So I thought different, though. I thought it was like, this was, we're going to show you, everyone publicly, that we can just kill this fucking guy because he was into what we're into, and he was stupid about it, got loose, got caught, and this is what happens.
Right, but you wouldn't, if you were he,
So it's-
you wouldn't have any sort of, backup plan just for that contingency.
Oh, if he was as smart as we're led to believe he
Yeah.
is, you'd think he'd have something, right? I mean, right?
So in
But
that
that's
case,
what he's saying. that
butterfly
they
knife on his
I
somehow got a
don't
hold
know.
of it,
Or
and-
maybe
and
they didn't.
Scotched that.
or maybe they thought they did, and maybe they didn't. There could be the still possibility of whatever he had could still come out.
I hope so.
Oh, God, wouldn't that be great?
It sure would.
Oh my God.
Oh, my God.
I have no sympathy.
Not
for
for the
these.
count.
That's for
Content of it,
years.
yeah.
That's like years of National Enquirer right there. That's everything they needed for the rest of their fucking time as a publication.
Yeah, but I mean, what if it's whatever everybody thinks it is, and it's fucking all the names of people that we know that are popular in politics and business and media, and they're fucking pedos. They diddle little kids. What if that was the case, man? I'd want to know, honestly, because
Would it surprise you?
no,
I don't-
fuck
I don't
no, it
think
wouldn't
in
would
this day and
surprise me
age
at
we'd
all.
be
No,
that
it's
surprised.
It's just
yeah.
not talked about. It's
But the fact
definitely
that
a thing.
it
I
should
know.
be
Definitely a thing.
It should be surprising. It should be unacceptable. It should
It
be
is.
condemnable. Like, it's not something that we should be like, well, you know, they're rich and they're fucked up, so I guess that's just how it is. Like, no, it's like you're rich and you're fucked up, and we don't want you. We don't want you in charge of anything. We don't want you guiding our world and guiding our lives. Like, in whatever way that you're trying to do that, you're manipulative and
Do you think anybody's going to go to jail over this, though, even if they do get
he
this?
went to jail. I think that Epstein
These other people
genuinely killed himself
But
because
listen,
he was for once being treated
but these
like
other
an
people
actual
we're talking
inmate.
about.
No. You know what happens
All these
when,
people, if they do have they prove that these people were down there. I think they're going to pay a lot of money and they'll get off.
So listen,
I don't think anyone's going to go to jail over
when you
it.
investigate someone and you when you have enough evidence to arrest them, there's still an ongoing investigation, right? The detectives are still out there there's still shit going down they need to find out. But when that person shows up dead, the investigation's over. There is no more investigation because there's no trial. There's no case anymore. It's over.
Yeah, but I think these women are still.
They literally stop fucking investigating when the guy dies.
But I think these women are.
No, they're not stopping the investigation of this.
Yeah, these women are proceeding with this. I mean, the women.
Well, that's civil.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if
Criminal.
anyone's going to jail.
The criminal investigation.
The criminal investigation is not over yet. There's still like
to him.
For him.
It's over.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But like they're still pursuing the investigation criminally and civilly.
Yeah. They're still
towards
whatever's
been released.
Yeah, his co-conspirators they call them.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're gonna go after him. They said, but think about it like from, if whoever did it is the cabal, you know what I mean? They want to kill him before that way. If they're not onto us yet, we kill him, cut it off.
He's the key to them. Is what the fear
exactly.
would be,
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I mean, if they did all this on that island, that may complicate things too. It's not like his mansion in Florida.
Well, he did it in the mansion.
They just raided
New
York. They literally today, I believe it's today or yesterday, raided that island.
This morning.
Yeah, so
but the laws may be different in the Virgin Islands or
it's
this
a U.S.
island
territory.
He owns it.
So that's the thing about U.S. The reason he banked in the Virgin Islands for the simple fact is you get all the tax breaks, but it's still U.S. banking institution.
But I'm not sure what's the case. I'm not a lawyer, but I mean, if he owns the island outright, is it still part of the Virgin Islands?
I would say so. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
you're not a lawyer either. I don't know.
Well, if I own my plot of land down the street, is it still part of the United States?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I don't know if that applies to
islands.
Yeah.
Body of water separated.
What if you bought an island out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that nobody claims?
You're right. I mean, if it's not claimed by any specific...
Right. So I don't know if the Virgin Islands claims this thing.
It doesn't matter if they claim us. We claim them. We're America, bud.
He's talking about that particular island. If it's not claimed by the Virgin Islands.
Right.
If it's not claimed by the Virgin Islands, then no, that doesn't matter.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Then we can do whatever we want.
That's what I'm afraid of. That's some sort of defense.
He can do whatever he wants.
That's what I'm saying.
But it doesn't matter if he did any crimes that were, based in the U.S.
But it may not be a crime there. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This is my island. It's not a part of the Virgin Islands, and it's an autonomous region.
I would say it's the same thing why you can't go out in international waters and just shoot somebody.
Yeah, but who's going to charge? Then who charges you though?
You told me yourself they had guys selling weed out in the water in Jamaica. They were standing out in the water selling weed.
Again, that's true.
Well, that is an interesting question.
To avoid
it wasn't international waters, though. They were just standing out there.
But if you are in international waters and you kill somebody,
there's got to be maritime law covers that.
Somebody, I guess.
I would think so.
But then we're talking about Interpol or something. I don't know who.
Anybody on the chat know anything about this? I'm sure somebody out there smarter, way smarter than us.
Yeah. That's probably 100%.
Jeff Janner says it's an island full of virgins.
That's true, too.
That's not helpful.
That's not helpful.
Do you know who we bought the Virgin Islands from, by the way? What country?
France?
No.
No clue.
Denmark.
Denmark. Yeah, I always liked Denmark.
And by the way, that's the most expensive purchase ever made by the United States.
Really?
How much was it?
$17 million.
Armand, can you tell me how much the Louisiana purchase was?
$3.5 million.
Yeah.
I knew you'd know that. Thank you.
All right, how about this? Conviction and sentencing.
$7 million for Alaska.
Okay.
Seward's Folly.
Seward's Folly, yes.
Yeah.
Seward's Icebox.
On June 30th, 2008, after Epstein pled guilty to a state charge, one of two, of procuring for prostitution a girl below age 18, he was sentenced to 18 months in prison.
Now, where was this in Florida?
This is Florida. Everything crazy in the world goes down in Florida.
It was just younger than 18.
Their state motto is "Hold my beer."
So that sounds like
I lived in Miami.
That sounds like a bullshit charge, honestly. So under 18 could mean 2, but they also have a worse charge for that, where it's like aggravated criminal sexual battery of a child or something.
She's a
like
minor.
That.
Is all it's saying. They're minor.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is that they gave him that charge instead of what they could have.
So you know why they do that? Because you can't identify a minor. So you can't give a specific age. For a girl between the ages of 9
and 13.
9.
No, you can say 9 and 13 or 9 and 12.
Right.
They say that on like.
Right. Anyway, let me finish this here. While most convicted sex offenders in Florida are sent to state prison, Epstein was instead housed in a private wing of the Palm Beach County Stockade, and according to the sheriff's office, was after 3.5 months allowed to leave the jail on work release for up to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Let me repeat that. After 3.5 months, he was allowed to leave the jail on work release for up to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Yep.
So he really wasn't in jail.
This contravened the sheriff's own policies requiring a maximum retaining sentence of 10 months and making sex offenders ineligible for the privilege. So he shouldn't have been able to do it at all.
No, of course not.
He was allowed to come and go outside of specified release hours.
That's what she said.
But here again, does any of this stuff make, is any surprised by this?
No, he's
The guy's
got
a lot of money.
$500,000,000.
Right. He's a
We're
big
just-
corporate raider.
We're building the story around this guy of getting what he wants by throwing money at it.
Yeah. Well, we've seen it all in movies too, like Goodfellas.
What's the name of that
you know?
guy's book? Basically, the last line of the title of the book is "All the justice that money could buy."
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
a great
That's
line.
a good line. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So his cell door was always left unlocked, and he had access to the attorney room where a television was installed for him.
Why is that girl there? She ain't talk.
What?
What is that?
I don't know. You'll get around to it. We're just going through the background, Pally.
I'm
Who's
not
saying
gonna
that?
interrupt them. That's why.
Who's saying that? Who's getting?
I don't even know.
kicked out of
God's
here?
creation or something.
You're off the island.
Get off the island. Get out of here. I'll talk when I want to. How about that?
Plane,
Hey, that's our guest on our island, man. Don't run her away. Shit.
Yeah, it's the only woman we got. We're not Epstein.
So he worked at the office. Before he was moved to the Stockade's previously unstaffed infirmary. After that, goes to the unstaffed infirmary.
Aha.
Oh.
He worked at the office of a foundation he had created shortly before reporting to jail. That's the job he reported to.
Wait, hold the fuck up here. So, give me a repeat here.
He worked at the office of a foundation he had created shortly before reporting to jail.
That's probably another
genius.
Ponzi scheme too.
And he dissolved it
Fucking well.
after he served his time.
Well done. Well done.
So-
Jesus Christ. This guy.
pretty genius.
He
Well
didn't let
done.
jail inconvenience him at all, did he?
The sheriff's office received 128.
Small imposition.
Prison? Of course not.
The sheriff's office received 128 grand from Epstein's nonprofit to pay for the cost
Of course.
of extra services being provided during his work release.
Aha.
His office was monitored by permit deputies, quote unquote, whose overtime was paid by Epstein.
Oh, his overtime.
They were paid by Epstein.
wow.
They were required to wear suits and check in as welcome guests at the front desk.
This is prison. Just for a reminder
Yeah,
here.
this
Sorry.
man's
this
been
is fucking
incarcerated.
prison.
It gets better.
It's not exactly a rock pile, is it?
Later, the sheriff's office said these guest logs were destroyed per the department's records retention rules.
Good
course,
idea.
of course.
Yeah.
Although inexplicably the Stockade visitor logs were not. So I'm like, see what's in those.
huh.
He was allowed to use his own driver to drive him between jail and his office and other appointments.
Chauffeur to jail.
You think he had an ankle monitor?
Nah.
Way.
GPS
Are you
amazing?
nuts?
Come on.
He had an Apple Watch.
He served almost 13 months, which is impressive, before being released for a year probation on house arrest until August 2010.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
I don't
fair
think that's
punishment,
fair at all.
don't you?
No, of course not.
That's very
For
equitable.
procuring a prostitution, a girl below the age of 18, it's fair he does 13 months.
You call that doing 13 months?
Well, fair.
Like I
That's
said,
true.
that's an
Okay, I can
15
catch your sarcasm.
inconvenience.
Sorry, I
15 will
didn't-
get
yeah.
you 20.
Should.
Should.
13 months in a legitimate prison, being a prisoner, I think might be okay. But this,
I'd say, I guess, I don't know, man. Procuring for prostitution, that's one thing. It's not like rape of a girl below 18.
right? That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's
Still, it's just shitty, man. You knew she's below 18, you son of a bitch. You should do more than 13
yeah. But
months.
if she's a prostitute, and I mean, I don't know what procuring means. I mean, does that like you're walking down the street,
Hey,
there's a
John.
hooker,
Come here, let me get some of that. You know, hey, I got
right?
$20.
Well, she's a hooker. She comes up to your car, but you don't know she's 17.
Look at the way this is stated. Procuring for prostitution, a girl below the age of 18.
Oh, so
it
he's-
sounds like he's actually, like you said, pimping at that point. 'cause
Okay,
you're
that's
procuring
different.
for
Yeah,
prostitution.
that's what I was wondering.
But
because-
maybe he's just
Can
going out
you
and finding girls
procure-
right and finding a
prostitute for
prostitute.
himself. Yeah.
It could be the pimp in
And
that
you didn't know she's
situation.
18.
It's really weirdly written.
Was he the John or the pimp?
So he had people on his staff that would actually go out and do that and for him. So
Well, some of these women apparently, they
Well,
were
right.
yeah,
The
we'll get
girls
to
that would
them.
go out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they,
Well, that's probably his best source. Like, go get your friends, you know.
yeah.
he had hundreds of girls coming to his house.
That's
hundreds.
fucked.
How it would I don't know if we talked about it yet. How this would go is they would get there, they'd be led into a room with a massage table, and they'd be told to either fully or partially strip, and he would come in. And
This
generally,
is on the island.
no, this is at his home and eventually at the
okay.
island. All
He
kinds
was
of
a
shit
freak
would go.
all over the world.
Okay,
not
but
just
now
at the
who
island.
procured his
His staff, the girls themselves,
right.
they'd have a number to call, whatever.
And what would they tell these girls?
They'd
they-
be making
with-
about $300 for a massage on a client or whatever.
And they're like
And he would
14.
also he would give these girls out to people at his house, like
God.
Clinton would come over or something like that. This never happened with Clinton, as far as I know.
I mean, I don't think I'd have a problem with if they're 21. Would you? Anybody?
Well, what if they're 16?
Yeah,
15?
16. We got a problem. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what
So these
New
girls
York
must
or
have been
Florida.
very young, right?
They were
They're
young.
not 21.
They were not of age. That's all
Right.
we really have
Okay.
to know.
Wow.
At the end of the day, that's pretty
So
much
he
all it's about.
exclusively though went after women that were 14,
Underage.
15.
That was his thing, man.
Wow.
Any which way. So they
Okay.
get to the room.
Yeah.
They do the massage.
Now, what were they told they were going to be doing? They were told they were going to be doing
Do
Oh,
this?
yeah,
massage.
they knew what they were doing.
You think? I mean, you don't know. You weren't there. You never talked to the people.
No, but I would think if you're going into a room with a massage table and a
No,
naked
but I mean,
man laying on
to
it,
get
that
them
you're gonna,
to get them to the mansion or whatever, they pick them up and tell them, you want to make a quick $300?
I'm
I
sure
don't know.
that'll all come out. That's
Yeah,
not out
so I'm sure like the ones that were specifically recruited by the other girls, they weren't sugarcoating it. Well, maybe they were. Maybe they wanted their
That's what I was
couple
wondering.
$100,
How do
but-
they lure them into this? A 14-year-old.
How would you do it, Eric?
yet. What?
How would you get other little girls to come prostitute with you?
I wouldn't.
If you were, in fact,
I would
an
just
underage girl?
prostitute
what
for
I would-
myself.
Oh, keep all the money yourself?
Yep.
Not very enterprising. Armand, how would you do it? I know you're in
I don't know
money.
how to talk to a 14-year-old girl to get her to do anything. My nieces think I'm a complete fool. So I don't know.
That's not
I don't
fair.
think I don't
You're
think I
half a
could.
fool.
They think I'm a wit, but they're only half right. I don't know. What would you say? I don't know what you'd say to a 14. Because first of all, do they want $300 that bad? A young kid like that?
Well, especially this is in
Hey,
the...
Jeff the janitor knows his shit, so I'm gonna go ahead and take. Yeah,
Jeff's
so
pretty bright.
He used beautiful of age women to recruit underage girls for the beach under the guise of a Fox modeling job. So he did-
Faux, goddamn.
I like the X on it. We had this discussion before.
I like that.
Discussion.
I just like the X on it. It's like the Guy Fawkes mask.
Fox.
No, Fox is F-A-W-K.
Guy Fawkes Day.
You're fucking shit up, Walter.
Fucker.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Fox.
What was Jeff
Oh,
the
that's
drunk
right.
saying?
That's
Said
right.
that they used
Now that's a good idea.
Beautiful
Yeah.
of age women.
Right. You want to be a model? Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That's pretty bright. That's brilliant, actually.
Yeah, right. Like I
Don't give Armand any
idea.
ideas.
Like Armand.
I told you they got to be three
Modeling
times this
job.
age.
Brilliant.
Graves says he's with me on the Fox thing.
Is he? Well, you're both dumb then.
Yeah, well, I like the X,
Fox.
so F off.
Fox modeling job.
He had several civil cases brought up against him, blah, 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 blah. This is all fucking boring at this point.
Yeah.
Let's just suffice to say that he made a lot of money.
Are we
He was
still in
charged-
Florida now? Have we gotten to the island yet?
We're everywhere,
All
Armand.
right,
We're
still
everywhere. We're
okay.
bouncing around here.
But was he doing it both at the same time? Florida and the island? at the
And New
same-
York.
yeah,
And New York. So
Yeah.
you got, wow. You got,
He's a pervert. He didn't stop no matter where he went.
Yeah, he had a ranch in New Mexico where he wanted to like recruit women.
That's the coolest thing.
And impregnate.
Wait, that's not cool.
okay, let's hear this.
Cool to me.
He wanted to
most
impregnate
interesting.
20 women at a time, and because
By
Usually
himself?
it's sperm.
the most fucked up thing about him, honestly, to me, like I mean, it's not more fucked up, I guess. It's just on another level. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, can I say that?
Yeah, you can say
Sure.
whatever. you want.
Okay, sorry. shit.
Whatever the fuck you want.
We normally don't say
Was
cunt.
the fact that okay, yeah, he's a pervert, and yeah, he was like,
Just saying.
you know, a sexual predator, but he was also like into eugenics and transhumanism and
We've done shows on that, by the way.
yeah, like he was a really, really, really messed up
So does
human
that speak
being.
to,
And
like,
so he had a
narcissism,
rant.
or-
That's a whole. That's.
This guy's like a combination of Francis Galton and the Marquis de Sade, kind of,
Yeah, sure.
if I had to describe him.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly
you
what I
think?
was thinking, Armand.
Well, at least
and
the
Thomas Malthus.
At least the Marquis de Sade, yeah. With the whole,
Look up those
Anyway,
people.
what were we
basically, so
saying?
yeah, so there's a ranch in New Mexico where he wanted to impregnate like 20 women at a time and like just like a factory of women so he can spread. It's like Genghis Khan, dude. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
just spreading his seed out as far as he can. I mean, so far what we know, nothing illegal was happening there because
Yeah, there's no
There-
law
there-
against procreating.
yeah,
that's-
exactly.
that's
And,
no- yeah.
and there was nobody, no one's came up.
I assume
and
he's
said-
paying these women for this?
I don't even know if it's gotten that far or if it went that
But
far.
for the impregnation.
But he told many people about. I don't know if he even actually did it. I know there was
Oh.
a plan that he had. I know it was talked about amongst many people. I mean, they discussed it like amongst themselves. It was like a thing, and it wasn't a secret. It was his plan. And to me, like those factors of Epstein are what's so scary and indicative
Dude
of
was
what
into
money can
all
do.
kinds of weird stuff. Big time into eugenics. We talked about eugenics
Yeah.
a month or two ago.
Yeah.
He thought you could breed in a better race. You know what I mean? And that's what he was starting to do. He wanted to have his sex ranch or his
Well,
baby
he was
ranch.
he was Hebrew, right? Jewish, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
he was trying to create another like a Jewish race.
Master race. That was nice.
I don't think it was anything to do with
I
Judaism.
don't know if it had anything to do with religion.
Well, hey,
No,
whoever
let's
on
not-
the
He thought he
group
was a
posted about the
Superman.
Holocaust denial, there's your spot. There you go. Go ahead. Continue.
Well, he may
guys.
have a Superman complex, this guy. Who knows what he thinks he's, you
Definitely
know,
a god complex. Yeah.
the more little Epstein's running around,
But we
the
don't
better the
relate
world will
his
be.
want for
He was
a
in the-
complete race domination to being racist or racial.
Let me see if I'm not even going to try to find the article, but he was really into cryonics, and I'd read an article
Oh,
somewhere.
when are they going to freeze him now? He probably has
So
that
hang on.
stipulated.
No, he only wanted his head and his penis.
Damn it! That's what I wanted to say.
Well,
best part.
I think it's better when
you
I say the
see.
word penis.
No.
Yes,
Okay.
It's more delicate
Yeah.
when
Penis.
spoken
What
by
kind of guy
female.
wants, like
He wanted his head in his
you're
dong.
You're talking
There.
about
Which, like,
cryogenics, you know?
how
like,
is that gonna survive? Like, what was gonna survive? Like, your head is gonna like.
That's what I told Eric. He's gonna have his dick right on his
So
neck.
right to his neck. Doesn't matter. Make
his
sure
mouth.
that the head and the dick, both. Period.
You can do oral and
everything
vaginal
else
at the
can
same
go.
time.
Is that true?
Everything else can go.
He put it on his chin
Yeah, he
so he
wanted
could
his
do.
head and his dick for sure.
He put it on his chin so he can do oral and vaginal sex at the same time.
It's just
That
crazy to
means
me.
like the butthole.
Maybe
Oh boy, this
anal
guy.
and vaginal or anal.
Come on, use your goddamn head.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm not.
Can't wait to
together.
see the film on this guy.
So here's an image of his island, Armand. Take
Yeah,
a look
I
at that. It's
saw
pretty
it.
fucking big.
Well, I mean, it's hard to get scale. I don't know.
I mean, you can see streets there. You can see houses.
Yeah,
You can get a good idea for scale there. It's a big fucking
That's
island.
better and bigger than Marlon Brando's
Would
island.
you be proud to own an island of that size, Armand?
I
Fuck,
think
that
I'd
is
take the
big.
little one right next to it,
Yeah,
even,
no
or
shit.
even this little rock
That's
right
what
here.
she said.
This atoll.
No, but
That is a big fucking island.
I'd take
We'll,
the yacht right there. That's
We'll
okay.
publish some pictures here on the group after the podcast is over, but it's pretty fucking big. You can see like there's just 4, 5, 6 mansions around it, and then like a
things got
marina.
8 pools. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
I
like
counted. There's several
8
pools.
fucking pools, and it's surrounded by water, so kind of redundant.
it's an island. Of course,
Exactly.
it's surrounded by water.
So why don't we hit the suicide, the attempted suicide first? So the attempted suicide, and I don't actually remember what date it was on. Where
It's
he,
like 3 weeks ago.
Well, when
or
did
3
first
weeks
of all
ago.
he got arrested, right? Now let's see. He got arrested what, the 1st, 2nd of August,
no, July 6th.
July 6th. Okay, so the guy's been in jail a couple months. All right.
Well, a month.
yeah, close.
Yeah,
About a month. And then
Close
he
there,
kills
Armand.
himself, yeah.
That edition
This-
got you.
What is this, October?
This
Sure,
explains why he lost all the stock
Frank
money.
Steak
All right. Just an estimate.
No shit. Anyway, Epstein was found unresponsive in his jail cell on Saturday while he was awaiting trial at the Metropolitan Correction Center in Manhattan. The multimillionaire financier was previously on suicide watch, where he would have roomed with a cellmate and have prison staff check on him every half hour. But for more than a week leading up to Epstein's death, those frequent checks reportedly weren't occurring.
He was off suicide watch though by that
Yeah,
point. From when I
so
like
they only kept him on it for like
6 days, right? And then the last 10 days of his life, he wasn't on suicide watch, despite what people would say. But how do you get
Yeah.
off suicide watch that quick?
You don't-
Especially such a high priority. Everybody in the world saying this guy's going
Everybody
to suicide
knows
himself.
exactly. Like it's not a. It was.
Right.
I fucking called it on Twitter like 2 weeks ago.
Listen there, fucking genius. Everybody called it.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly the point. Everybody fucking knew that this was going to happen. This was no secret.
Have you guys like thought about? I mean, okay, like I'm sure there's a conspiracy around his death, but also I think there's like a bigger issue here, which is like the industrial prison complex and the fact that these guards were there for like 5 overnights in a row, that they have inmates watching inmates, that people are understaffed, underpaid. Like that also is an
Yeah,
issue.
prison for pay is a whole thing too.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like, I mean,
but I don't
it's
know.
not-
This place is supposed to be actually a pretty good place.
well, it's not. Well, I mean, they
Which is
all are
even-
supposed to be pretty good
Well,
places.
Gotti was
but-
in here. I mean, as far as security goes, I mean, they're all for profit. We know that.
They were
That's
supposed to
the
check on him though a
thing.
lot more often than
Right.
they did.
Sure.
They heard shrieks coming from his cell hours earlier.
Yeah.
That's-
Shrieks. There's somebody's reporting here.
But isn't it like something? I mean, don't you think a person who's finally being charged with something that he thought he got away with, and where it's completely exposed and in the media every single day, don't you think that person would want to just kill themselves? I mean,
There's a good chance.
you know what I mean? Like, think about this. Like,
If you don't think there's a
you're
chance
trapped.
you're going to win.
Yeah. How the fuck is he gonna
so
win?
The thing is, like we talked about earlier, he's narcissist, right? He really cares a lot about his
Exactly.
Okay, so
His legacy.
if he felt like it was going to be, publicly humiliated by this entire thing, which obviously he fucking would have been.
He already
Already
was.
was.
Already was.
I don't know. I
Good
don't know if
point.
this
People,
guy.
his friends were denouncing him. The connections were denouncing him. Like
he
people,
can't pull the same shit he did 2006, 2007.
No, people
not
are
again.
anywhere he turns, people are like rejecting him. I mean, he's completely alone. He's a disgusting person. I'm sure he felt no guilt, no shame, but he did feel, I'm sure, embarrassed and, like you said, narcissistic. So to me, it's like, okay, maybe there is a conspiracy about someone stepping away while he did do something, but it's not surprising that
Well,
he killed
it's
himself.
obvious because I mean, my interaction with Suicide Watch was confined to the hospital, where
Yeah.
if there's somebody in the psych ward that's a suicide risk, they put them in a straitjacket. There's somebody watching. They're monitored. I mean, these people. First of all, people don't want to get sued,
Yeah.
so you make sure this person cannot hurt themselves.
Right.
There's no way you're going to commit suicide. You're not going to get out of your bed. So if you're on suicide watch, as I understand it, there is no way you could kill yourself. And I'm not talking about just taking the shoestrings out of somebody's.
Yeah, I want to know how he hung himself too. I'm really morbidly.
With a bed sheet that was supposed to be like a terry
what they
towel.
said?
Yeah, bed sheet, but supposedly those bed sheets are like, they were
Paper
talking to a
thin.
convict that had
Right,
been
they
in there.
tear easily, right.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, if you do enough knots though.
Pillowcase, shirt. I mean, he had to have some sort of shirt on.
You don't care how many knots you
something
put in
you
a
can-
roll of bounty. You're
I
not
bet we
going to
can
hang
make it look
yourself
like you
with
killed
it.
yourself.
Gleaming the Cube. I mean,
Exactly. I just watched.
Come on.
Weirdly, I just watched that movie 2 days ago.
really? Yeah. I mean, I just thought
What
about
is it?
It's a 1980s skateboarding movie. It makes a
Yeah,
kid.
you haven't seen
a
it,
kid
have
hung
you?
himself.
No.
in it, but they'd strangled him and made it look like he hung himself.
himself.
Yeah, well, I don't buy for a minute the guy killed himself.
Not
Tell
for
you
a
the truth.
minute.
I'm not a big
How
conspiracy
much would it
guy.
take for you to buy it?
You don't buy that.
$2.
He doesn't buy it.
No, I
No.
don't buy it.
Really?
Nope.
I
I don't
definitely-
think I don't
I-
think the guy killed
I don't
himself.
think he did either.
I definitely think he killed himself. I for sure think he killed himself.
Did he have
Well,
children?
here's something that will interest you. Then the coroner in his case is the same coroner that presided over the assassinations
Yeah.
of
MLK
and
Kennedy.
Kennedy, Robert.
Yeah.
the same coroner
Yeah.
that fucking
He's still around?
examined.
He's 80 something. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, he had to call in a special investigator to help a special coroner to help him with this, so he didn't miss
help
anything.
to hold the scalpel.
Why are you in such a high-profile case such as this if you're gonna fucking miss something and you're 85 years old?
Coroners are elected officials, man.
Oh,
Just
that's
saying.
right. Yeah, I didn't think about
that's
that.
true.
That is true.
Yeah, but-
well, fuck. I guess we know. Damn. Why didn't you say that when
Yeah,
we
but
were
they
doing fucking research, Everett?
I don't think.
Asshole.
But you think this guy? Do you think he killed himself?
Hell no.
And what about you?
You know, he may have killed himself. Who knows if they had dirt on him that was more than what we knew? Maybe he had family or something that were being threatened or something. You never know. With the extent, if you got enough dirt on somebody, like say Eric, I'm going to expose you for your child porn, right? You're like, oh yeah, well if you do that, I'm going to fucking kill your family.
Yeah, but how do you
Okay.
know by
You know what I mean?
committing suicide that you're not? That's not going to happen anyway.
You
I
don't.
know. Yeah,
but
see,
if it's the
that's-
only chance you got,
I
you
don't
know, I'm going to do whatever I
You-
can. It's
That's
the only-
a Frank Pentangeli thing, you know.
well, he killed himself too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but he knew they were going to get him. But
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But the mafia
if it's
has
the Clintons,
honor.
if it's the Clintons we're
the
talking
Clintons
about,
don't.
exactly, they would have fucking I think he would have killed himself.
I think
don't-
so too.
I don't
But I don't. I think he probably killed himself, but I don't know why. I think he
I'm
was,
not even sure
he
he's
was worth
dead.
too much.
Tell you the truth.
He
Did
might
you
have
see
been-
that picture of him?
He might have been forced to kill himself, but I think he killed himself. And I heard about this whole like, oh,
He's an Israeli agent. Have you heard about that?
no,
Yeah, there's a lot of people say that he had a lot of close ties with people
is
in
he a
Israel.
fucking Zionist?
I don't
Because
know
don't
that-
even get me started.
Well, I'm not going to get started on Zionism.
Let's get her started.
That's for
No.
a different show.
Yeah.
But there's a theory that he's not dead. He's back in Israel.
Yeah.
He was a Israeli agent.
Well, they did have that pic. Now I don't know. Did you see it? The picture. The guy's nose is all wrong, and
That's
they showing him on a
supposedly
slab?
Yeah.
Hillary's brother or whatever. Did you see that
yeah,
shit?
that's
Yeah.
Hillary's brother.
I didn't see
It
that.
sure
Oh my
didn't look
God,
like him
yeah,
though.
man.
No.
But I don't know what it's on Facebook, so who knows?
So there's questions. He was moved during a
But I
power
want to see the
outage.
DNA though. I want to see DNA evidence. This guy is actually the dead. This
You're never
guy.
going to get that. We didn't
Well,
get shit when
why
they got
not?
Osama bin Laden. This is just fucking Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
they threw
threw
him in a-
Osama off the boat.
Yeah. Well,
All of America wants to see that. They did it quietly. Whatever.
It's not happening. The guards weren't doing the suicide checks, which
so
was
wait a minute.
bullshit.
What do you think the odds are that he's still alive?
I don't know. Very, very, very little, but possible. I mean,
3
anything's
to
possible.
5%,
Armand.
Armand. Is that?
I want a percentage.
I just said 3 to 5%.
Come on. Now, what's
I have
the
no
date?
idea.
October 7th?
How do you even
Give us a
begin to
per-
handicap that? You don't. I mean, there's no way. Okay, 4% chance he's still alive. Percent chance of compared to what though? Is the
We've
thing.
talked about this stuff. What's the
I don't know.
percent? If you can give me a percentage of the entire world being a computer simulation, you can
Percent
give me a
chance it's
percentage.
more likely than he's dead.
Yeah.
I would say.
I'd say 50-50. I'm going to say 50-50.
50-50, that
Yeah.
much, huh?
I'm going to say he's 90%
If he's got
dead.
the go-go's and the juice to do all this,
He had.
somebody can pull him out of there.
He had.
Well, as I'm saying, they could do it.
It's possible. You're right. It's possible. I mean, there's more conspiracies we've talked about,
I
like
think it's
fucking.
very possible.
The Sasquatch is less likely than Jeffrey Epstein living, though. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay, global warming is less likely than
Oh.
Jeffrey Epstein living. Which is more likely, global warming or Jeffrey Epstein alive?
It's more likely that you're Jeffrey Epstein than global warming
Jesus
is real.
Christ.
I mean,
See, it's like
That's not
you're
true.
biased, Armand. We can't
Yes,
put your
yeah,
opinion on
right.
anything
I happen
because
to
once
think
you
of
compare it to global warming,
the laws
it
of
fucks it.
thermodynamics apply. Yes.
Eric had an interesting note here that Twitter allegedly removed the hashtag
whoa.
Clinton body count.
I didn't get credit for that. Someone put that in the group. I
Well,
added
either
it.
which way, you got credit for writing it down in our notes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Eric
You're
has it written
responsible.
here
Yes.
that the Twitter removed the hashtag Clinton body count and replaced it with Trump body count.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that's like irrelevant or relevant, not irrelevant. How is that relevant to?
Because a lot of people were doing the Clinton body count shit because they, he was tied
Right, but
with
why
the
would they
Clintons.
change it to Trump though? It doesn't make sense.
People don't like Donald Trump.
Did you substantiate this before you put it in the
I found one article that
okay. One article's good enough for me.
That's it.
One random.
Good, because I can find any more.
All right, so let's
Okay.
can we prognosticate on what's going to happen now?
The prognosticators, Eric Hicks. Let's hear it.
Well, what do you think's going to happen?
What? He's dead. Nothing. It's over.
No, but I mean, with this whole, you think the whole thing's over?
Yeah,
you
it's
think
gonna
we've
blow
heard?
over.
You think we've?
You
Yeah.
don't, well, we're not going to we're not going to hear about Dustin Hoff. I mean, you got a whole list here, people.
Yeah, we'll get to the black book list.
Well,
Yeah,
and
but
these
now-
people are going to get off scot-free, all
no,
of them.
no. Like too many
I don't know
times.
about that.
So hold on. You think it's going to go away, or do you think
It's gonna go away
and
completely.
and
I don't
everybody?
think
Nope,
so.
it's
I
done.
disagree.
It's done.
It's
know,
too
man.
big, man. It's too big. This one,
This
the
has
media,
turned
the media
90%
can't resist this.
Right, it's
this
turned
is your Bob
90
Woodward moment here. If you're a newspaper guy, they're all sniffing around
This
this.
has turned 90% of America into conspiracy theorists.
Right, and this
Yeah.
is a Pulitzer Prize waiting for somebody.
Okay, so then they do what? They shoot up another
Well-
concert, and everybody's on to
He's got us
something
there.
else.
He's got us there. They'll just shoot some concert up. That's coming in the next few days.
I'm just fucking saying.
I don't
I
know
mean,
about that.
come
I
on,
think it's
man.
got
They
too much
just-
leg.
who was-
Yeah, but this is prurient. This isn't politics, okay?
Actually, you know what? After the
Like
Epstein
even-
shit happened, they had those 2 mass shootings on the same day, and it didn't go away.
No, it's not going to go. Not this, because people love
He's
sex.
dead now.
People,
He
it
was
doesn't
alive
matter,
then.
but they want. If it's look at this, Kevin Spacey, Katie Couric, for God's sake.
well, hang on.
Look
now.
at these names.
Let's talk about the Black Book before you
yeah,
start.
tell them the names.
So,
Stephen
well,
Hawking.
this was interesting too. 4chan had a thread 38 minutes before the NYPD announced his death, saying that they were saying that he died. He was dead.
Who said this?
4chan's a website, it's an
Online
online
message
forum. Yeah, message board.
God,
That's
read
why I
the
think
internet.
he's still alive.
Huh?
That's why I think he's still alive. Somebody said, all this
38
stuff was
minutes.
put
What would be
out.
the point of going through all the effort to keep this person alive when they have such a I mean, why would Israel even want to
Yeah,
claim?
that's a
Well, I
good
don't know
point.
if he went to
Why would
Israel.
they want to?
Like,
Because
you
he
know what
got
I'm
tons of money, right?
Yeah,
But
they
is
gave him
it-
tons of money.
Jewish
I don't think
people
he's in
like what?
Israel.
He
Do
was
not be
claiming-
racist
was
up
a
in here,
joke.
Eric.
It's a joke.
Listen.
Racist jokes are always funny.
Okay.
First of
know.
all, Israeli is not a race.
Thank
a
you,
religion.
Armand. That's what I
It's a
thought.
country.
Can you be racist against
Yeah.
that?
My point though, over all the race shit,
Arabs and Jews are
is
Semites.
he claimed to be a billionaire. It's not likely they had more than half a billion. Even if he did, that's peanuts.
600 million
On the top
tops
of
is what he
governments
had.
like the United States and then governments like Israel, 500 million,
Have
a
there
billion, or nothing.
Well,
Have
this-
there been richer people that have went to jail than him? That's what I want to know.
Yes.
$600 million richer than.
Yeah, but they didn't have this list. I mean, this is big time stuff here.
Yeah.
We're not talking about G. Gordon Liddy or somebody. This guy.
Well, let's go into the black book, Eric.
Does
The
it strike you
connections.
does it strike you though as that unlikely that somebody say, look, get this fucker out of here?
No.
You're in witness protection, which for him would be $2 billion somewhere on an island.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
in
no, he's-
Tahiti or
he's-
somewhere.
yeah.
And you're never leaving. You're going to be under constant guard.
It's amazing
Yeah,
you didn't go to
that's
somewhere
that.
and no extradition. You know what I mean?
Then you're never going to hear from him again. But that's the whole point.
Yeah.
But he'll live fine.
No, I didn't know there was any. Chicken Sandy, which is a funny name, says that has anyone seen the drone footage of the government raid on the island? It's
haven't.
fascinating. I have not.
That was
I
just
haven't
today,
either.
wasn't it?
It was today released?
I've not seen.
It was
drone
before the
footage.
deadline for the show.
Yeah,
I don't know. We should have. Yeah, I think we should have.
When I
seen
started my research this morning, the Guardian said 2 hours ago, so I was like, "Fuck
So
you."
you're remiss again.
No.
Let's just go over some of the names. They had the
Yeah.
black book. They had
Hang
his
on.
list of celebrities and shit. Let's
Yeah,
hit it.
Wall Street people, bankers, politicians, businessmen, CEO, presidents, princes, etc., etc.
Well, you got that wrong again.
Etc.
This is an inside joke here.
Was that you
He
say
just corrected
etc.?
me. Yeah, he
He's
just
been
corrected
using.
me.
He's been using like the abbreviation ECT.
And I'm
And
not
I
changing
saw
it.
it finally the last time. I was like, God damn it! You know how I used to say supposedly all the time, and I had to
Yeah.
tell you it's not supposedly.
Right.
I knew it wasn't supposed.
Didn't we?
Supposedly.
Didn't
that's
we
just how it
ask you
came
not
out,
to
Dick.
say etc.?
It's etc.
ECT.
That's a Fox pronunciation.
ECT.
High five.
You must be from Cyprus. It was 92 pages. The book. It was first discovered by journalist Nick Bryant. Mr. Epstein's Black Book was resurfaced as part of the current investigation into the sex crimes. So they don't. I couldn't figure out where it went in between the time that Nick Bryant brought it to light and then this research.
Where'd he find it? Where'd he get it?
I bet he stole it. He's a journalist.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm talking
I'm
about.
just
These
saying.
guys are all sniffing.
Yeah.
Big story here.
Alfredo Rodriguez, Mr. Epstein's former house manager, attempted to sell the book. It was published in 2015 by Gawker with the telephone numbers redacted. So a report by a New York magazine about those people who appeared in Mr. Epstein's book declares that the list creates a portrait of a man deeply enmeshed in the highest social circles.
So it's not the top; it's the front.
Yeah, I know. I like it down here.
You're talking like this.
Just
so we
shut the
can't hear
fuck
you.
up.
I'm like you to
Why don't
talk
you read
like
the
that.
names?
Is mine the top or the front?
I'd like to
Yours
to
is
read
in the top, just like
let
you
me
do.
read the names.
You're doing just like you're doing.
Names
That's
in the
perfect.
book included, well, we all know Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, of course. Bill Cosby.
Let me stop you on the Trump
Oh, that's
one.
a surprise. Bill Cosby. That's so fucking shocking.
He's Epstein's neighbor. They were neighbors.
Their neighbor, Prince.
hang on,
Prince.
hang on,
Oh my
hang
God.
on.
what
Here's a quote from Trump in 2002 on Epstein, and I thought it was great.
So scary.
It doesn't age well.
He says, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. Has even said he likes beautiful women almost as much as I do.
Ugh.
And many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys a social life."
Oh God.
So that's Trump in 2002 on Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, most people. A lot of people who had talked about Epstein had actually mentioned that he likes younger girls.
That's
None
like
of them gives a shit
Weinstein.
'cause they wanted
Yeah,
his money.
Right. That's the same thing with Harvey Weinstein.
Yep, a lot of the
Everybody
people were
knew.
fine with it.
Everybody in
complacent.
Hollywood knew.
They were complacent until it was not cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? Till
Prince
someone-
Andrew, who everybody knows the fuck up. Naomi Campbell, Dustin Hoffman.
No,
Wow.
Campbell was
that's
just
a
at the
heartbreaker.
party, right?
Her
This
name
in the
was in the
book.
book.
This
Her
in
name
the
was
book.
in the book.
Their name was in the book.
Doesn't mean so is
Right,
Alec.
doesn't-
So is Alec Baldwin.
There
Doesn't
were
mean he
people
was.
that never
Yeah.
met him.
Richard
No, there are
Branson?
photos. There are photos of this like 13-year-old sex slave. I don't know if she was or wasn't, but doesn't okay. Who was at these parties with Naomi Campbell and other actors, and they took photos with her and stuff. But that's
That doesn't mean she.
So
did
what do they
anything.
claim? It was
Exactly.
just a party that we
they're
didn't
claim-
know there was.
There are people that were there that were hanging out, that were partying, that didn't know or may have known but didn't participate.
This is a guilty by association.
there was also
thing.
a
All right,
madam
hold it
that was
back.
there.
I think we all know. If you went to a party, I say, hey, AJ,
Yeah.
come to my house for a party.
Yeah.
And they're
there's
fucking kids in the other
13-year-old
room?
girls
No, I'm out.
serving drinks.
I'm out.
I'm like, Armand, this is not surprising, but it's really gross. Just kidding.
I should have saw this coming, honestly.
No,
That's
I'd
a
be,
viable
I'd be very
conclusion.
surprised
Yeah.
because it's fucked up,
Something's
dude.
wrong.
And it's not funny in all truth. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. If you're in that environment, you see it, you're complicit.
You wouldn't go back.
You're complicit. I'm sorry. You didn't say anything. You didn't do anything to change it.
Dude,
you
it
didn't-
doesn't take somebody leaving too many dishes out on the
Yeah.
counter before I'm like, I don't want to go back to this person's house.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If I find out they're
Exactly.
fucking
And I fucking hate dishes.
touching children, I'm like, I'm really never
Right.
coming back.
And not only that, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking report you. I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna do my duty as a person.
If I had any kind of inkling or proof that something like that was going on, sure I would. Otherwise, I'd be like, you know what? Do your creepy shit over there.
Yeah.
You like young girls, quote unquote. I don't know what that means. I'm not looking at you any further.
Yeah, but if I'm at a party and there's a 13-year-old girl there, I don't need an inkling. I see it. I
Yeah.
physically see
there-
it.
if I
There's fucked up
see,
shit happening
like,
here.
if
we're
I see
all
you
in
touching
our-
a 13-year-old
Well, that's
girl,
what
I'd
I'm
probably
saying.
walk over there and fucking clock
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is probably. I mean, this is kind of guilt by association.
For
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Let's
Sorry,
shame
go
the
ahead.
rest of these fuckers.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, where
Shame
we,
'em.
Dustin Hoffman, who we kind of know he's a little off. Remember with his son and Kevin Spacey? Remember that
Of course,
story?
Wapner comes on at 3.
Isn't Woody Allen the guy who like married his daughter?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
Yeah.
also accused of molesting a 7-year-old adopted daughter as well.
oh my god.
Yeah,
I didn't know
But
that.
he's a good actor and director, so it's
oh
okay.
yeah, it's okay.
But he's funny. All
Yeah.
right. Michael Bloomberg. Oh, boy.
Who's that? Hang on. Who's that?
Mayor of New York. Bloomberg
okay.
News.
Maybe you heard of him.
Mexican?
Billionaire.
Who's
Richard Branson,
Who's that?
Virgin.
You don't know
Atlantic.
Richard Branson? He runs
Virgin
Virgin
Atlantic.
Records, Virgin Atlantic,
Virgin Galactic.
Is he the
Galactic.
guy who was like had a commercial of him being on an airplane?
Probably.
Yeah, he's getting hit
Okay.
by a golf ball.
Virgin
yeah,
Mobile?
something like that.
Picking up, yeah, that's him.
Okay.
Virgin
Alec
Islands?
Baldwin, Woody Allen, Stephen Hawking. Now he
That
can't-
hurts me. That hurts
He was
my heart.
so he we all know that Jeffrey was in the sciences and pseudo
Yeah.
sciences and whatnot. He had invited Hawking to one of these seminars on one of the Virgin Islands,
Yeah.
brought him to the island.
Yeah.
He did the thing with the submarine where he paid
Yeah,
to have
but
a
he was
submarine.
he cheated on his wife. That's how. Didn't you see the movie?
I
Who?
didn't.
Stephen Hawking. That's why he got a divorce. He was cheating
Really?
around with his nurse. Yeah.
then fuck,
so
maybe
hey,
he
just because
was.
the guy's paralyzed doesn't mean he can't be a pervert.
I think it does.
Well, that's fair.
I think it does.
Oh, in his mind, I have
Was he-
sinned in my
Was he
mind.
Quadra? Or
He
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
Can he still
still move his
is it
lips.
still like, come
All
up?
right, well,
Or no?
Does
No,
his
I
dick
don't
work?
know.
Is that what you want to
Yeah,
know?
yeah, it's his dick work. That's right. That's
I don't
exactly
know,
right.
Eric.
I don't
don't
think
know.
so.
No?
Let's quit beating around
But-
the bush.
Well, if we can get a definitive answer on that from anyone, just
We're gonna have to ask the chat.
Yeah.
Does Stephen Hawking's dick?
well,
still
not
work?
just Stephen Hawking. Any
quads.
quads?
Yeah. Well, didn't you see Born on the 4th of July?
Nope.
Tom
Tom
Cruise
Cruise,
couldn't
his
have
didn't.
kids.
Yeah, his didn't.
Yeah, you can't.
No.
No.
Forrest Gump's buddy. What's his name?
I'm not sure. Now, some
Bubba?
He was a paraplegic and his didn't work.
Bubba?
Yeah. No. Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan, yeah.
Lieutenant Dan's dick didn't work. He was always getting prostitutes. What are you talking
I don't know
about?
if he,
What
yeah,
am I
he
thinking
wasn't.
of?
He wasn't. Yeah, he
What am I
wasn't
thinking of?
paralyzed though. He has legs cut off, but he
What am
wasn't
I thinking of?
paralyzed.
I don't know.
All right, I recant. Sorry, Lieutenant Dan. Your dick works fine.
Yeah. Anyway, continue on.
He can swim too.
Gary Sinise is like, fuck
All
you,
right,
Everett. Team Eric all
Harvey
the way.
Weinstein, big surprise there.
No. it's-
Ted
misunderstood.
Kennedy, another big surprise. Courtney Love. Oh my God.
That's actually
She is
super
a
surprising.
psycho, but she's crazy.
How about,
I
Katie
honestly-
Couric?
Hold on, I honestly feel like Courtney Love. I don't think she had anything to do with that. I think she herself has been like Weinstein. She's been warning the world about Weinstein since like 2005. She's totally
Oh
against
yeah,
the
you're right. She's been on tape like fucking talking shit about all these.
Like
people.
before all
yeah.
the allegations came out, like somebody asked her about
I've seen
something. She's
that.
like, "Well, if I can give any advice to any young girls, it's don't go to Harvey Weinstein's hotel room." This is like 2005.
Yeah.
Do not go to his hotel room.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
So-
well, I'm here again. These are just acquaintances. They're in his book, so we don't even know if they went
Kevin
to parties with
Spacey,
him.
what in the hell?
Yeah, well, that one's not.
Oh, that's not really.
Sergey Brin, we know him.
up?
Who the hell's David Blaine? I don't
He's
know.
the
him.
the magician.
Yeah, he's a magician.
Never heard
He
of him.
always looks like.
He's an illusionist.
Did you see what I just did?
Does he
Did you
fly?
see? Did you
Just the
see
guy
what
that
I
flies.
just did?
That's why David played impersonation. You got that blank look. Did you see that?
He's amazes himself, huh?
I
See
sure
what I
did.
just
Yeah,
did?
he amazes himself.
Chris Tucker and Tony
Douchebag.
Blair. Oh my God.
Chris Tucker, that's fucking Smokey from Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little.
Tony Blair, Prime Minister of England,
That doesn't surprise
Katie
me.
Couric.
and lousy.
You see, they
musician.
named the turd size scale after Katie Couric
What?
from South Park. You never saw that episode? Where they had the world's biggest turds, and they were measured in like that's a 7 Couric turd.
Okay, one of the people said God's creation said no way, Chris Tucker. Again, these names are people that have been to his places.
I don't even know about that. It's there in his black book. That's all right?
Well, I think there's photos
There's
and
a-
stuff of them being at like parties or
okay.
like affiliated with like.
I pulled
his-
Alec Baldwin's name directly from the black book this
Yeah.
morning. I was looking. I had scans of it that were redacted out of their phone.
But
names
there
and
again, that doesn't necessarily
It
mean,
doesn't mean-
they went to the island.
It doesn't mean they went to the island. It doesn't mean that they participated in anything specifically. They
Dude,
may have.
if
seen
you look at
things,
my
may
phone,
not
I have
but
like
they were
weirdly
involved.
several celebrities' phone numbers
Do
in
you?
my
Do
phone.
you?
Yeah, but that doesn't
Like
mean I
who?
know them. I don't know, like MMA guys and shit like that. Things like that. But
The thing is
Everett, you're.
Yeah, I didn't know you were
here's
such
the
a.
thing about being in that black book, and this is going to sound bad because it's not, I'm not taking up for Jeffrey Epstein, but
Big
not
John
at all.
McCarthy,
I'm,
for
I'm
instance.
taking up for the people that are in the book.
Yeah.
So he could write their
Yeah,
fucking name in that
right.
book and have all their correct information as a contact that he wants to make contact with for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They have no idea
Like, I
that
had an
they're
ex-
in there.
I had an
They don't know that
ex-girlfriend.
they're in
But
there.
would he do that? I mean, like, would somebody?
Yeah,
do
that's what that
that
book was about. Was his contact? It was all. It was
Yeah,
business contacts.
right.
It was
Business.
sexual
So that's what I was
contacts.
trying to
It was
say.
every-
That
it was
doesn't
all of his
mean they've been
contacts.
there.
It was his black book.
Okay.
Period.
But the question, I mean, like Harvey Weinstein, it's still everybody knows this guy.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Who's Tonga?
Oh no.
Who is that?
that's Armand's girlfriend.
Who's Tonga?
you guys are trying to break me up with her. You,
Not me.
Who
She's
in
a
the
saint.
hell is?
Don't you guys fucking break them up. She's gonna be making me some banana bread.
I'm
Is she
tired.
making banana bread?
Is that your
Yeah,
girlfriend?
yeah.
Her name was Tonga.
Yeah.
Hey, can I get some too,
Yeah,
Armand?
Oh,
she was my
okay.
girlfriend this morning. I don't know about now.
I'm gonna talk shit to her about how you won't go to the gym with me. How about that?
I'm going to gym with Tonga.
Why would that matter to her?
What the fuck?
You want to come with us to DuQuoin? You can
God
work out
damn
too.
it.
Here's my last thought too. The last note I found interesting about Epstein before he killed himself. Last week he was denied the ability to wait a trial in his $56 million Upper East Side mansion.
Yeah. So that
So-
would have been like the telltale there, if he was gonna get away
If you
with
got
this.
yeah.
Exactly. It's what
They
I'm
were gonna-
saying.
they were
Like they
gonna
were
let
taking
him-
this shit seriously this time
Yeah.
because
Well, as soon as he seemed like no, they're not even gonna let me go do that. They're like, fuck.
yeah,
I
he's
got
like, fuck
nothing.
it, I gotta
I'm
go.
fucked.
I
I
gotta
am fucked.
get out of this
I am
world.
fucked.
What happened? Why is
So
he fucked?
he tried to get he appealed for
Like furlough. He tried to get furloughed at his mansion
Mm-hmm.
To
till
await
trial.
trial.
This last time?
Yeah.
Await
Last
trial.
Oh no, this time he knew he was.
Yeah.
I still don't think that's going to make him commit suicide.
Well, so they
now.
didn't grant the let him stay in the mansion at all. They didn't grant federal
I'm
judge
going to give
said
you
no.
guys a percentage. I think it's 40% he's still alive, 40% he was murdered, and 20% he committed suicide. That's my percentage.
And global warming?
What's that?
0%.
0%.
Okay, just making sure.
Man-made global warming.
Flat Earth.
5%.
Global warming
What?
plus 0.1.
Oh, flat Earth is much more likely than global warming.
It's global warming plus 50%.
Okay.
That's the
The
equation.
golden ratio.
Oh God.
Hey, Team Tonga, all right.
Yeah. First time.
Everyone's defending
We got a
her.
real smart-ass audience
Oh
out
yes,
there.
we do.
Anybody in the audience got any more good Epstein points before we kill this first
Yeah.
half here?
Yeah, because there's
It's
stuff
not
that
going
we.
to. I disagree with you. It's not going to die.
What's not?
What do you
Oh
think?
man.
That- what? This is
well, he
gonna
thinks
die
this
down?
whole thing's going to be.
No,
this
I
is
think
it.
there'll be no more arrests made.
I think
Period.
I don't think this is gonna die. I think that it's
think people's-
serious. I think that it's a huge. I think it's like, yeah. I think there's too much momentum and too much
It's-
information coming out.
Yeah,
It has the
somebody's
potential-
career is going to suffer.
The
These
potential to
people, these
be-
famous people are going to
Yeah.
get. Somebody's going to get ruined, like
I think so.
Weinstein.
This has the potential to start a societal movement similar to the Me Too movement. You know what I
I
mean?
hope so.
Bigger and better and stronger.
I don't want to say it has more because it's children. I wouldn't say it has more like in
got
my
more
eyes,
emotion
it's
by it.
more than like women being raped. I don't know. I feel more bad for children than women. Sorry,
Yeah.
women.
Dude, honestly,
Right.
it's
It's horrible.
It's
Yeah,
all
this is the
an
worst.
issue. It's all systemic. It all comes from similar spaces. So, we start digging into these things. We get to the roots of these problems and the Me Too movement and whatever the hell they're going to call this movement and whatever. I mean,
Stop fucking kids movement.
yeah, please stop being a fucking pedophile
Yeah.
/ what is it called? Hashtag blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's the other question. How pervasive do you think this is? I mean, there are a lot of guys
think-
like this.
Okay, I subscribe
creep?
to the New York Times.
Yeah.
And for the past 3 weeks, every day there has been a section on Epstein. I mean, it's a constant. If it's not Epstein, it's like what he was into, what he has done, the sperm banks that he was involved in, the eugenics, the transhumanism. There's so many aspects of this issue, and it involves so many people, as we can see. I don't imagine it falling off. We have
I can't see for a
royalty involved right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. It's too
shit is
right.
serious. What, is everyone just gonna kill themselves?
And everybody wants to know about it. That's what I'm saying. These are
Exactly.
Hollywood stars, prime
Exactly.
ministers. It's never going to die. 'Cause
Yeah.
Any journalist is going to go after this like
It's
crazy.
easy to sell papers. If
Absolutely.
you can sell papers or airtime,
Yeah,
that's what you're going to do.
That's what keeps things going. I don't care who you bomb or whatever. You can start a war.
Thanks,
what is
Nate.
It's
going
not
on
going to stop.
here? What's $2 for?
Nate Hunter just gave us $2 of super chat money.
Oh,
Oh,
thanks,
okay.
buddy.
I didn't know that was a thing.
He's a good buddy of
Nate,
ours.
I'm giving you access to the doc. I don't care whatever it says.
What was I going to say? I had one more point about.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, that's all right. We'll just keep talking. I'll get to it eventually.
No.
Jeff
Everyone
says he
sit
should
in
call in
silence.
and get suicide. He said you get suicided. He knows a lot about this. Have you been reading what Jeff's been saying? I don't want to bust Jeff out, but Jeff has a friend that was recruited by Epstein that literally went through all this and is suing.
What? Recruited to do what? To get girls?
No, to be the girl.
Oh, to be. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I remember what I was going to say.
Wow.
If you guys are interested in doing more research on this, I'm sure most of you will probably have been and will be doing more research. A little.
That's for Nate.
Oh.
He
was
said, "I
like,
love
what
your
are
face."
you doing?
Yeah, kissing ass.
A little Google tip for when you're doing your research on this, because if you type in anything right now to do with Epstein, you're going to get page after page of like he killed himself.
Same articles.
Right. You can set your search tools on Google to check in the past month, in the past week, past year. There's a custom button where you can set a to into a latest date. So what I was doing in my research, I started in like 2012 and then ended it in like late 2017, early 2018. So I made sure I got all the old Epstein
Well,
stories.
when we were looking for the backstory stuff, yeah.
Right, exactly. So if you're doing research about him, you're going to want to get stuff that it isn't like within the past month old. Before the recent arrest and all that stuff, that's when the juicy shit is. That's back before he was the big name and everybody has the same story everywhere. Just Google your shit that way and you'll find a lot more interesting stuff to read.
Just another point. I mean, if indeed he did commit suicide, is this the clumsiest piece of prison guarding?
I mean, fuck,
I mean,
man. Somebody
this-
deserves to
Nobody
lose their
thought,
job.
okay, somebody say, listen, we got to first of all, we got to make sure that, there's nobody watching him. We turn off the cameras. There's no guards there.
There
although
is no one worse than police and prison guards when it comes to this type of shit. You know what I mean? They're
But
the
boy,
ones
with
that-
this guy,
No,
I mean,
it's-
it's such a high. I mean, this isn't, some low-level, punk somewhere.
it's worth
That
$600
happens.
million.
no one's going to get in trouble for this.
No, that's
No,
what
but
I'm
it's
saying.
just-
Nobody's
not for
even
their
getting
suicide.
arrested. Nobody's even getting arrested.
Not for the suicide in the prison.
Now, what happened? The warden, though, got kicked out or something, or get transferred, right?
Resigned, I thought, right?
So
Yeah.
whatever, yeah, he gets his pension, I'm sure.
But you're right. This is a whole other topic and a whole other issue. Very serious issue. This is not the first time this happens. It's just like a high-profile case. But this is definitely not the first time this happens. Something like this happens on Watch.
But you would think somebody would say, look, everybody's watching. I don't think we can we can't fuck this up because everybody's going to know.
Right,
But
imagine
I
It might
guess
have been
guard-
as simple as these guards were working overtime. They were exhausted. They had other inmates watch. People weren't being as vigilant because they're overworked and understaffed. I mean, it could be just as simple as that.
And
really.
before, when Jeffrey Epstein was in jail, he paid the guards his overtime.
But you would
Yeah.
think somebody
But he
say,
didn't do it
look,
this time.
I mean,
That's
the
this time.
commissioner or whoever's in
Oh,
charge.
he was paying the
Yeah.
guards.
But if you're in
and
charge,
they still killed him.
you're the guy in charge of all this, right? And I'm
Yeah.
talking about above the warden
Right.
or whoever. It's like, this guy is not going to kill himself.
Yeah,
I don't
you
give a
guys
fuck.
Make sure.
I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck.
Well, no,
Right.
Exactly
I don't care. I don't care how many guards
It's
you got
not
to
the
put.
prison system. It's the district attorney who's going to be saying that. You keep this motherfucker alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I watched enough
Exactly.
procedural court dramas
Would you
to
think
know.
that? I mean, this guy, I don't care if they have a riot like Attica and the rest of the prison, but this guy is not going to die.
Yeah, no shit, right?
You would think because
Yeah,
of this.
I agree for sure.
I
Totally
mean,
with
it's
you.
just clumsy as hell.
Yeah.
Final thoughts? I think we.
Or
we
it's
covered percentages and
hubris that
everything.
they think we can get away with anything. Maybe somebody said, I don't give a shit. The
Probably
public's so
can.
stupid. Well, whoever's in charge.
Oh.
So if the guy kills himself, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't. That's even worse.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think that,
I want to read more about it. I want to see what develops over the next week or so.
it's
See
not
what
gonna-
comes out.
It's not going to die. No way.
Final
No way.
thoughts. It's gonna die. So
I disagree.
Eric is wrong.
Disagree.
Eric is
no,
very wrong.
and I
He's the
don't mean
host, I
die.
mean.
Listen, what I
He's
say.
the hostess.
What I say when I mean that is that they'll investigate. We'll hear about it more.
Yeah.
But there are going to be literally no arrests of any high-profile people. We're not going to get. There's celebrities. Everybody's wanting.
But they're going to be paying big money, and they're going to be like Kevin Spacey, and they're going to be ruined.
no,
I think
it's-
somebody's going to be ruined.
I think they caught it in time.
All it takes is for one person, and you're wrong. Just keep that in mind.
These people we listed, these celebrities, and these presidents and prime ministers and everybody, they've been on that black book since it was found in 2015.
You're not
They're
wrong
still
there.
completely operating as
yeah, but I
normal.
never heard of it. Had you?
I never
Yeah.
So
Well, I've talked about this black book
The
on
black
another
book-
episode before that we've done.
the black book isn't enough to get anybody in trouble.
No, it's
But
not.
if he had his island and his house completely wired, that is.
pending new evidence. Okay, when pending
then
new
you have-
evidence,
they got
like
videos
Why
and
would he
shit.
do? But why would he incriminate himself in that way? Why would you wire?
It doesn't matter if he's in a picture fucking a kid. If somebody else important is in the same picture,
I know, but I'm
fucking
saying
a
like,
kid.
why would he do that to his own house? Why would he wire his own house?
Because he had people
Because-
there all the time.
yeah.
He constantly had people coming and going from his
For
house.
blackmail purposes,
That's
I
true.
would
That's
think.
Exactly.
true. Oh my God, you know
Yeah.
that
Prince
makes-
Andrew had been to his
Sure.
house.
Yeah.
That Saudi Arabian prince had been to his house in New York. A Saudi Arabian prince.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Let's just
everybody
say-
That's
knows.
not surprising. They
So-
are garbage.
Oh yeah, well, the Saudi Arabia, of course. Yeah, that's
I don't know
that's
nothing about
accepted
it.
behavior there.
I don't shit on people
They're not
in general
worried
like
about-
Well,
that,
they
but
throw
princes,
they
the
throw
Saudi
gay
Arabian
people off of
princes?
roofs and shit. They're pretty
The
intolerant.
Saudi Arabian princes.
I shit on Saddam's
Saudi
children,
Arabian
but-
prince could screw a 13-year-old girl and get away with it.
Oh
my
yeah,
God,
easily.
Oh my God, oh my
Not-
God.
not-
Well, he would
problem.
marry her first.
Yeah,
I'm
you could
kidding.
put him in the
I-
harem.
I
I don't
know
know.
that
I
for
don't know
a
about that either.
My lips are twitching. My eyes are like
That was a bad joke for AJ. She's like
tweaking.
"No."
I'm like,
She would be circumcised and then married.
oh
That's how
God,
that
oh God, oh
works.
God, oh God.
But I mean, well, a guy like Tony Blair, if they got a picture of him humping some 13-year-old, he's not going to live that down.
I'm gonna vomit.
Tony Blair probably not. He's out of the political scene now.
True, but he's going to be paying big money, and he's going to be ruined, even though he's not.
They all
you
just
know.
commit suicide. The
Prince
end.
Andrew, for God's sake.
What about Jeff the janitor? Does he get suicided after?
No,
after
I
his
hope
no.
position?
not.
Jeff
No.
will live happily ever after.
Jeff, stay alive.
One out of 4 of us will likely be killed.
Nope, not me. Not me. Definitely.
Somebody-
Not it.
I don't
Not
have a
it.
FOID
Nose
card,
goes.
so
Not
Nose
it.
goes.
I don't have
Probably-
a FOID
probably
card.
me.
I do drink though. They could throw me out in front of
I
traffic.
have a FOID card.
I don't have one.
I don't own any guns.
Hey, listen, if
Right, I bet you don't.
if I get killed, I'm bringing down the podiatry profession. It's
Yeah.
going with me. I'm going to name names.
Leave any
Uh-oh.
evidence you've got with me. I'll make sure it gets out. I know how to distribute.
Okay.
Just saying.
It's like Rat here.
All right, everybody. Thanks for showing up today. We'll catch you all here soon in the after show, wrap up show, social show, whatever you want to call it. We got a
Social
bunch of
disease show.
voicemails, emails, and shit to go over. We want to hear what you guys thought about the show.
And we got a super new good idea.
I don't know about that. If you want to get a hold of us by
We
email,
don't have a good idea.
You can get us at info@surrealtalkpodcast.com. Visit surrealtalkpodcast.com. Click on the link there. Leave us a voicemail. There's an Amazon link there. If you click and buy Amazon through that link, we get some kickbacks. There's a Patreon link. If you want to support us on Patreon, that's patreon.com/surrealtalk.
Surreal.
Eric, anything else you want to add? Social
Yeah,
media?
yeah. Twitter at Surreal Talk Show. YouTube is at /Surreal Talk Podcast, and then I'm trying to think of the other ones. No, that's just about
You
it.
got your Snapchat you started.
Oh yeah. Snapchat, man. We're on.
How do you
I don't
you just
fucking
search for
remember.
that?
No, yeah.
Yeah, join the groups. Facebook.com/groups.
Our Snap code's on our Twitter.
Yeah.
So if you want that, but if not, I'll give you the name real quick. You
We'll
can
do that in the
just
social
listen.
show. Download
Okay.
the next episode. We'll see you guys here in about 5 minutes. Who's out there on YouTube? If you're listening in podcast land, you've likely already downloaded. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Yep.
Bye.
Catch y'all later.
Bye. All right, I'm going to smoke. I'll be right back.
Cool. Catch you guys here out there in YouTube land in a few minutes.
Wait, what are you guys doing?